Well, and hello again. Welcome to the midday show here at Woodward Sports. It is Joik Bell's birthday week. And I guess August 4th is his official birthday, so that means he's taken the whole week off to celebrate himself some Joik Bell, because if there's one thing we know about Joik, Joik loves him some Joik.
I love me some me.
I love me some me. And nothing wrong with that. If I was Joik, I'd be loving on myself too. My name is Stick. I'm going to be filling in today with my man Easy over here.
What up, though?
How you feeling, Easy?
Good, man. I'm ready to talk some football, man. It gets closer and closer every day, man, to the season. And you keep hearing all these reports from camp. I'm just ready to nerd out, man.
Yeah, what are we, like 42 days out of real football?
I believe
start
so.
of the season?
Yeah.
I love it. And then Fish brought up earlier the Hall of Fame game, the preseason game is Thursday. We're already getting into preseason football this very week.
It is this Thursday.
Yep.
There's also another type of football on as well this Thursday.
Yep, but we're focusing on NFL right now.
Yeah, but it's preseason. Who wants to see NFL preseason when you can watch real football?
I guarantee a lot of people want to see NFL preseason.
Yeah.
I am one of those people that want to see NFL preseason.
You're going to do that over a regular season football game from Canada?
Yeah, over Canadian Football League all day long and twice on Sunday. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And the fun fact is, once Thursday hits, that's the last week we will have without football till mid-February.
That's crazy.
It's here, Easy.
It's here?
It's here.
Oh, man.
And I'm here, and Art is here, making sure we look good. And how you doing today, Art?
I'm doing all right, other than this is broken, so
What'd you
we're
break
good.
it?
No, Fish, didn't you break it? It was either you or Kennedy. One of you two was in here. Was that you?
It wasn't me.
I definitely went in there a bunch of times today and secretly pulled out my screwdriver and
Yep.
went...
I knew it. So yeah, now if I want to talk, I have to cup this like balls. So it's a normal day.
Yeah, good.
It's a normal
At least you
day.
got your form down. And then, of course, we have Kennedy on the couch handling all the socials and participating in our conversation today. Kennedy's got some good topics that she put into the show. So let's get into them, Easy. Lions training camp going on right now. Our very own Corey Woods is down there. There's that picture from this weekend. The dude from M Live took that picture. That is not Odell Beckham Jr. That is Quintez, the man, Cephas.
Wow.
Did you see that?
I didn't see it. That's the first time I saw that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's striking.
It is. I mean, it's practice. Was it a jug machine catch? Was it it wasn't in game. There's no defenders around him.
Right.
It's the guys practice that stuff. I'm saying, don't necessarily. As NFL receivers, they can make those types of catches, especially if it's just jug machines or just like trying different things. I mean, I'm impressed with it. It's a sick-ass picture. You see the vert on that
the
picture?
Ball, but the extension, the vertical behind there. All right, throw that back up real quick. Let's check that out. I mean, that is... Look at how high he is off the ground. Like, look at he's almost jumping over Mini Dan Campbell in the background.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Amazing catch right there by Quintez Cephas, who's obviously second-year player. We're expecting big things out of him because our wide receiver core has not been nailed out, and those are the types of guys that we're going to be looking for to kind of lead the way and lead this next regime and this next offense that we're bringing in, and to give Jared Goff some decent targets to throw to. And that was the thing with Quintez Cephas coming out of college. Not bigger than anybody.
Yeah.
Not faster than anybody.
Yeah.
But a great route runner and can put his body in position to go up and get those balls. And as you can see, definitely can jump higher than most people.
What's your expectations for him this year? Does that picture give you higher expectations for him at all, or that's what I didn't want to do by looking at the picture. I don't be like, oh yeah, Super Bowl.
All right, one still picture. This guy's amazing.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a breakout year. And by breakout, I don't mean he's going to put up like 2,000 yards. I mean, he may flirt with the 1,000-yard mark, depending on what Tyrell Williams does and injuries and all of that stuff. But honestly, coming out of college, I was really high on Cephas. And I don't know if everybody really knows the story about why he fell so low to the Lions in the 5th round last year.
Yeah.
Do you know that story?
Yeah, about the Wisconsin the ladies and
so there were two women who accused him of sexual assault, and it went to court. It got thrown out of court, laughed out of court, because he had text messages of them consenting essentially to come over to have a threesome with him.
Thank God.
And then obviously things went sideways, but Wisconsin, doing their due diligence, they took him off the team for a year while the legal proceedings were going on, which you have to do, but at the same time, this is one of those very important lessons that just because someone says something doesn't necessarily mean it's true. And you had a he said, she said situation. Fortunately for Quintez Cephas, he had kept some documentation. He was able to be reinstated back at Wisconsin, but by then, it was kind of too late for him to really tread water and get his feet back on the ground. He did well for Wisconsin. He put up some big numbers. Obviously, high praise from Jeff Okudah as well. Because when Jeff Okudah came out, he said the best wide receiver I ever covered in college was Quintez Cephas. And, you see it here. The guy's big. He can get open. He finds areas. And you saw it a couple times last year when he played for the Lions. He was able to catch a couple nice passes. No breakaway speed here, though. Like, this is the thing. But this was his diving catch into the end zone. Absolutely beautiful against the Bears. But he goes up and gets the ball, and that's what he's really good at. He's a thick-bodied guy, and I'm glad we got him as late as we did. We may have gotten a steal in the draft last year with him.
Hashtag thick boy.
You like the thick boy?
No, I'm not really sold on him either way of him being like amazing receiver. I didn't see much of him last year that makes me think he's going to be like a super stud. But I hope that he's serviceable for us. I hope that he becomes the value that he seemed to be in the draft. We're going to see. We're definitely going to see. I hope he has a breakout year. Because like you said, there's not like any one thing he does really amazing. He's kind of just... I just feel like disrespectful saying this stuff. He's just a guy, a receiver.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me, and I'm not saying he's this, but I'm just saying his game is kind of like a Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
Like, Irvin wasn't outrunning anybody. He was out leaping a couple people, but it was more about, and Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice will tell you he wasn't the fastest guy on the field. The reason he ran fast because he didn't want to get hit.
Yeah.
That's what he says. Like, big guy chasing you, you run fast.
When I heard that clip, I was dying laughing.
But outside of that, he's not a very fast guy. It's more about, cutting the right angles, using your body to position, using the defender, and knowing where they're going. And hopefully he's that type of cerebral player to where he can use all the things he does have to make up for the things he doesn't have.
Yeah, and I think the one good thing about this receiver room being unproven is it breeds the competitiveness because every single slot is open for these guys.
Yeah, you know he got a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no one that you could say, oh, he's for sure making over me because he's so-and-so. That's not the case. If you bust your ass and prove yourself, I think all these starting positions are available for everyone. A competition is completely open.
Yeah. So who do you think the wide receiver that's going to have the best year for the Lions this year?
If Tyrell Williams could stay healthy, I definitely could see him being our guy. But other than him, I guess the surprise you call is Amon-Ra. I think he's going to be a stud for us. Not just this year, but in the future.
Yeah, that's the one guy I definitely want to keep an eye on, too. I haven't been able to see a ton of them, but what I did study from his college film is dude just blocks his ass off and plays his ass off every single play. And I feel like that's the type of mentality that Dan Campbell has brought in with all the players and all the coaches that we've recruited so far this offseason. Yeah,
one of the dopest things about Amon-Ra is when he got drafted, you usually see the guys sitting on couches with their families, celebrating, hugging, and stuff like that. This dude was in it. Remind me of Terrell Owens. He's in his garage shirtless, catching passes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he was doing when he got drafted. He was working before he even got signed or drafted to a team. Like he didn't even know what was going on. He was just busting his ass. And like those type of stories, like this type of stuff I hear about him. Like last week, he caught 202 passes after the catch or after practice one day. Those type of stories reminds me of, and again, this may be overstepping a little bit, but Terrell Owens. When I was growing up, I had like this big sports book, and I'd read up on like Michael Irvin, Terrell Owens, because I didn't have cable and nothing like that. And like those type of stories I would read about T.O. And the same, even when it goes back to T.O. working out in his garage or in his driveway. Remember he got suspended
with Drew Rosenhaus.
Yeah, he's just shirtless. You know what I'm saying? Just was busting his ass. Like that's kind of what I see Amon-Ra, and I think that's the mentality. You know, T.O.'s top 3 in almost every receiving stat, so I'm not comparing him to him or saying he's going to be T.O., but he's going to be good.
Yeah, well, you love to see the work ethic, and Art just played the video of him after practice. Nobody else really around on the guns machine or the jugs machine, just catching the ball. Is this the play where he just blocks the dude completely out of bounds?
Yeah,
yes.
Man.
Look at him at the top. Look at that shit.
Look at that, man.
Look at that. Like, look at what it does to the sideline. Like, the play was still going on, and the sideline didn't give a damn. They were just watching the top of the screen with Amon-Ra destroying people. Love that.
Hell yeah, he's got to go to the whistle.
Right.
Because the running back would have probably got scored a touchdown if he stayed on top of him. But still,
yeah,
the mentality.
No, you still love to see that off the ball, and that was one of Kelvin's greatest features too. When Kelvin was here, is his down the field blocking.
Yeah,
and you need that out of your wide receivers. Like Hines Ward had built his whole damn career off of being that guy.
You're not lying. That's actually a good point too, because like we know this team's going to be run heavy.
Right.
With the way our offensive line is built and like how limited our receivers may or may not be, him being out there on the field blocking is just like speaks to how great, I guess, DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams, how great of a season they might have this year.
So many potential breakout stars. If you had to pick one to break out this season, who are you picking?
Offense or defense? Or
Just one star on the team in general.
Man, I want to say Jeff Okudah.
Ooh, I like that.
I would like that too.
Why?
It could be, a lot of it could be like wishful thinking, because I just love having a lockdown corner, man. Like those teams always seem to go far, whether it's like regular season and playoffs. So, but why I choose him is I don't want to call it blind faith, but I have faith in this defense. Aubrey Pleasant, a great defensive backs coach. You saw him even back in L.A. They had Jalen Ramsey. You see guys, I spoke on this last week a little bit too, but you've seen star-studded cornerbacks go to teams and they kind of like fall off. Nnamdi Asomugha was like the perfect example. A guy who was like the highly touted free agent cornerback when he went to Philadelphia, and they're supposed to be the dream team.
Yep.
But then once he went to Philadelphia, he kind of fell off. We've seen Jalen Ramsey jump from the Jaguars to L.A. and still continue to excel under Aubrey Pleasant, maybe even gotten better. And I think he brings that here to Detroit. Everyone speaks highly of him. Aqib Talib, he has a podcast called Catch and Fades. He had Michael Brockers on. They all spoke highly of him. And then Aaron Glenn, well, we have yet to see, him as a defensive coordinator running the show. But I don't know, man. Another thing, too, I apologize if I'm running late with this one, but
No, you're good.
Our defensive line and everything we invested in there. And the two back-to-back defensive tackle picks, Michael Brockers, re-upped Romeo Okwara. Like, I really think that, like, this defense, the guys that we have in the front office know what they're doing when tailoring this defense. Because there's guys on this team, Trey Flowers included, that were studs before the Matt Patricia era, guys that we had high hopes for. Like, let's not forget, like, how bad of a, I don't want to say coach, no, how bad of a leader Matt Patricia was.
You can
and, like,
say that, man.
Yeah,
The cat's
32.
out the bag. That
Yeah.
guy was a piece of shit, not only as a human, but the way he treated his players. And then between the lines, his schemes were dog shit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you could call it out.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I think the defensive staff that we have now is going to really excel the pieces that we've had and make us show them like what they're great at.
Yeah, well, 8 Mile Vodka, they're great at one thing. That's making delicious vodka right here in Metro Detroit and for you to enjoy. It's available at any Meijer store and available at a bunch of local bars. And if you go to the bar and ask for it and it's not there, make sure you demand that they carry it because we want to help support the homies as well. 8 Mile Vodka. Pick it up today at your local Meijer and enjoy yourself a nice cocktail. And if you didn't see Jared Goff mic'd up at minicamp or training camp, I'm liking this guy, and
Yeah.
we'll see that video next on Woodward Sports.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back. I was going to say welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show, but I did that already this morning.
Nice save.
Welcome back to the afternoon show right here on Woodward Sports. We got some changes in the lineup happening. Obviously, Sean left, and that left Joik up here all by his lonesome, and we're solving that problem very, very soon. Plus, we have another big announcement with a new show. And actually, Art, let's get to that right now, too, if you got that. We got a new show that's starting August 12th right here on the Woodward Sports Network, and it's going to look a little something like this. Weekdays 2 to 4, you will be able to hear The Bottom Line with Ryan Armani and Braylon Edwards right here on the Woodward Sports Network. And those two, once you get them in the room together, like they just play off each other. You love Braylon's big opinions, and we were talking about this earlier on the morning show. Braylon tweeted out, like, listen, I've always wanted a job where I didn't have to filter myself, and that's what Woodward Sports is providing me. And all I got to say to you, Braylon, let go. just let loose. Go nuts. Just go, like, we want your opinion nonstop.
Hell yeah, I'm pumped because I was a big fan of Ryan Armati when he was a part of 105.1, that Detroit station that was sparked up there for a minute. He was great, and then meeting him too. He's a guy like the energy in the room, like he brings it. You know what I'm saying? Like he has that kind of like Joey has that too a little bit.
Right?
He's that positive vibe, and like he's just like always like let's fucking go. Like what I'm saying? Like it's Armani and Braylon Edwards. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a fire ass show, and you have great football minds there too. So
yep, August 12th, 2 to 4. That's when that show is gonna be. And if we had somebody comment, oh, I may not be able to listen live at that time. How can I listen to the show? That's the best part about Woodward Sports. If you don't catch it live, you can go back on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and rewatch the shows. And make sure you download our app as well. It's free and available for you right now in the Google Play or Apple Store. And those two are just going to have a lot of fun.
I think that's like underutilized. Like the app is like, because people think like you have to be on your phone and watch it live all the time. But like, if you got to hit the car and you're in the whip and you can't be watching it, we have the app. You can listen to the audio like you do the radio station. Like whenever.
Yeah, and it's not like a confusing app where you got to go in and like search what you want to listen to or whatever. It's like, nope, it's up, press play, it's on, we're good to go, we're rolling.
Yes.
But speaking of having a good time, because those two are definitely going to have a good time right here on Woodward Sports. Jared Goff. I didn't know much about Jared Goff before he got here. Let's be honest.
Isn't that weird? Because like he's come from a big market. Like L.A. and New York get the most like from national media, right?
Right.
And you rarely seen exclusive interviews and stuff like that with him. It's weird that I don't know, you didn't see more of this.
Yeah, and you'd think like after that big game he had dueling Mahomes a couple years ago where they each put up like 50 points, like SportsCenter would have interviewed him or made like just some sort of behind the curtain where you could learn a little bit about him. It turns out Jared Goff is a funny guy.
No, yeah, I'm telling you, it's weird because not like he's a boring dude.
Right.
He's a funny guy. He was in a big market. Like, why wasn't this showcased? I did see one actually. Did you see the video where he like faked and went to like one of those colleges?
They brought him in as the new transfer quarterback. Yeah, I saw that video. That was a couple years ago. That was great. But with a smoking hot girlfriend like he has, you have to have a little bit of personality too.
Facts.
And so they did a mic'd up version at Lions training camp of Jared Goff. And look at man, if you don't love this guy more than you already do after watching this video, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, Jared, have you ever heard of Grizzly Man Outdoors?
I have, actually.
What do you think?
I think everyone should subscribe.
YouTube, Grizzly Man Outdoors. Thank you.
Paid for by the Detroit Lions. I mean, coming out here at 8:30 in the morning, some dedication. I have a mic on today.
You really?
You get that rash taken care of?
I hate you. Okay. We can play that game. Is he on yet? We can play that.
It was a joke. They're right there. They're not going to use it. They're right there. This is in-house. Come on.
You in outdoors at all?
Actually, I am.
Like fishing?
Yeah, I am.
Or you want to be into it?
No, I'm very into it, and I've heard that.
Have you subscribed to Grizzly Man Outdoors?
I have, and everyone else should too.
No, don't. I'm just saying, my boys.
Paid for by the Detroit Lions.
Maybe you can throw that in his cadence too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Grizzly Man.
Subscribe.
Maybe that could be a call right there.
Subscribe.
Just sabotage your mic.
Cut that.
David, happy birthday, man. Seriously, David, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I need final cut on this, okay? You're here? Can you hear me? Okay, I need final cut, and I need to see everything that's cut. Grizzly Man Outdoors, I can share.
The big dome mics today, maybe?
Hey, let's have a good walkthrough, huh?
No, I have one on.
How about a good walkthrough?
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I might take it off halfway through because it's like hanging on my hip. We'll see.
That's two good-looking men up there on that grassy knoll.
I think it's my boy right here.
Oh, they're not.
I don't think
they
they
don't
can
got
hear
it
me
right
anymore.
now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Taking a knee, working on that hip flexor. Good. Yeah, stretch out that hammy, get loose. Good. Don't pull something.
Do not look to your right. Whatever you do, don't look right.
No.
Yeah, there you go. Good call.
Smart man.
You're a hot mic today.
Question for you.
Yes.
Did you end up getting that rash figured out?
Okay. All right, we want to play this game. Have you ever considered getting a subscription to Grizzly Man Outdoors?
Oh, I've considered it and I've done it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've been plugged on that a few times already. That was the all-time one. I think Chris Long did it to like one of their guys on their team where he he was like dead serious. So didn't tell him he was Mike. He's like, hey, you get that thing taken care of? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, come on, I know. Huddle up, huddle up, huddle up, huddle up, huddle up. Here we go. Little gas, little gas, little juice, little juice, little juice. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. How we feeling? We good? Everyone knows I'm mic'd up today. Boom! We won't make a living on that, don't worry. Find my vision there if you can. Yeah, so I don't come back to it. Yeah. If you can't see my eyes, I can't see you. Yeah. Good job. Good, Logan. You see that too, though. Hey, I know you see that too, right? Hey, you good? 6-yard line. Good job, big boys.
You love to see that, man. Like,
hell yeah.
I know he kind of played the joke out, but the whole you get that rash taken care of thing,
Yeah.
like that's hilarious. He knows he's mic'd up. The other guy's in an awkward situation.
Yeah.
I love to see that type of personality because that was one of my big knocks on Stafford when he was here. It wasn't his playing ability. It was the leadership outside of that, the intangibles. You know, the post-game press conferences when it was, we got to play better. It's like, yeah, we know that. Like, that's not great insight. Tell us why. Tell us how. Tell us what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're going to get that out of Goff.
I hope so, man. I really don't know what to expect from this guy because, like I said, there wasn't much, like, national – like, I don't know. I can't recall too many interviews where this guy was calling his teammates out, not in a bad way, but in a good way to motivate them and stuff like that nationally because you figured it'd be all over the place, but it wasn't. But, no, you like to see some personality. Kind of like last week we saw Stafford's his fuck up during the Ford Field Family Day or whatever. He's like, holy fuck, that's a lot of Fs. Like,
I wanted to see more of that.
Yeah. It makes you human, and I think it builds like that. Him having that relationship with these guys like early into the season. I mean, we haven't even seen a preseason game yet. Shows he's building the camaraderie, and he could actually get these guys hopefully together.
Art, I know you're on the 10-7 bandwagon. Does seeing Jared Goff kind of hang out with his players, and you can tell that they're building that relationship in practice, does that convince you even more that you're on the right track with 10-7?
I think before everybody thought like he was just a Ken Barbie doll. Like he didn't talk, he didn't have a personality. So seeing the Lions do a really great job of not only showcasing like the OTAs and the rookies minicamp, but they also show that these players have personality. And I think Jared Goff did a fantastic job. Like the subscribing to the Grizzly thing, like that was great. Like just having fun and showing that the Patricia era is completely over. Like there's actually fun that people are having now at these camps.
Isn't that amazing? Like when your leader inspires you to like have energy and fun and like create and try new things and just be there for each other. Like that's the type of camaraderie that really builds champions. And I'm not just saying winners. I'm saying the word champions here, which is crazy to say when you're talking about the Detroit Lions. But you see things like David Blau's wife running in the Olympics, and they have a watch party for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That means
dope.
not only do you have my back, you have my wife's back, who's probably the most important person in my life.
Yeah.
So, like, those things mean a lot to all the players.
Because it's more than just doing a job, right? It's like you give a shit about me. I give a shit about everything we're building together. Like you're a part of something rather than just like fulfilling, I guess, a task. You know what I'm saying? Like you're part of like being something truly special, building to something great.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. You can feel it, right?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't... Normally, I'm drinking the Lions Kool-Aid. I'm not going to lie about that. That's what I do. I'm that guy. Every year, I'm ready for the kick in the dick. We talked about it last time, right?
Yeah.
Every year, I'm ready for it. But this year just feels, like, solidified. A little more real, a little more tangible that, hey, man, I can physically see with my eyes the transition in these guys' energy, their posture, the way they're presenting themselves, and it's going to translate on the field. I know it will.
Yeah, the part that I love, too, I want to reiterate, is we're so early into the season, too. So, like, for these guys to have, like, this type of relationship with each other after, just coming along, I mean, I'm sure they have, like, meetings and stuff like that, but the first time they're hitting the field and actually having to, like, get something out of somebody, because, during practice, you can get pissed off at your coaches every once in a while, but, like, for them to just come off after that and still have, like, the relationship, they can say good things and positive things about them this early on, and they're that close together already, like, it's you love to see it.
Well, good stuff going on at training camp. Corey Woods is down there. TJ Lang made an appearance today, so former Lions players starting to show up. It's open to fans now, which is so cool to see. That's got to help them feed off the energy. So let's go, Detroit. Let's just keep this good energy rolling. And speaking of good energy, Cade Cunningham, he selected his number. And we're going to talk about that next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Gang, gang.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Thank you guys for hanging out this afternoon. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Do everything you can to let people know that Woodward Sports is here and we're ready to play. Obviously, Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani joining the network kind of shows you that as well. August 12th, the brand new show, The Bottom Line, will be right here on the Woodward Sports Network. And the bottom line right now is this is Cade country. Like, I was just talking to Jesse about this right before we got on the show, and Cade has made the Pistons, like, relevant almost overnight.
Yeah. It's crazy to see, man. Honestly, like, it felt like after the 04 Pistons, it kind of translated to, like, super teams. And with us being a small market team, it felt like I didn't know when we were ever going to see, like, that again. I was really, like, I praise Oklahoma City all the time, too, because they kept themselves relevant as being a small market team. They recycled their stars and refilled them again. And even now they're sitting on a bunch of draft picks. But, like, we didn't have that. It was, like, despair here. And I was like, dude, it's never going to happen. I feel like I got fucked out of every single, like, draft lottery. And then here comes Cade to save the day.
Well, not only is he saving the day, man, like literally he was walking around Birmingham yesterday, and he was getting swarmed from my understanding. Damn. Yeah, he wasn't too far from Woodward Sports Studios. Wish he would have stopped in. Cade, you have a standing invite whenever. Just come on in. But the fact that he's getting that type of buzz in this city, because, you know, Jared Goff also and all these other, you know, Red Wings and stuff, they frequent Birmingham roast here. And there's not this huge, like, crazy scene.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham shows up, and all of a sudden, everybody's going nuts for the guy. And it showed me that the Pistons are – the Lions are always topic A, right?
Yeah.
Right now, the Pistons are topic 1A.
Yeah.
Like, they're right with them in buzz, in culture, and where people think this franchise is going. And that's all to do with Cade and how he's handling himself.
I can say, and in all due respect to the Red Wings, and, like, this is hockey town. Like, don't get me wrong, when it comes to, like, the NHL and hockey, like, we used to run shit. You know what I'm saying? The Red Wings were an absolute dynasty. But when it comes to football and basketball, I could tell you from personal experience, when I was doing, like, live streams in my basement, when I would talk Detroit Pistons, I would have people from other countries on my live streams just to find out, like, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And, like, so basketball is huge here, man. And Cade Cunningham is, like, bringing hope back to that Detroit Pistons franchise. And it's amazing, man, because, like I said, it felt like despair. It felt like we weren't going to get that for a long, long time.
Right. Right. Well, you saw him throwing out the first pitch with Casey Mize, which is cool to see the two young faces of the franchise get together. And here he is already hitting the gym in Detroit, man. He came to work, he came to play. And, dude, this dude is just long. Like, he just looks long. Look at that 7-foot wingspan, man.
Dude, we have a 6'8" point guard.
Right. We have Magic Johnson.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I don't want to say it, but, like, yeah, man. Like, I don't want to hype him up too much early, but, like, he's going to work, man. I have there's no, like, I don't even want to say the word, man. Cade Cunningham's going to work. I'm not even going to say the negative, like, part of it or what can be, because, like, the way this guy plays the game of basketball is to win. There's no selfishness. There's no, like, getting points and stats and stuff like that. It's getting guys open, making your shots, and playing defense. Like, this Cade Cunningham, his pro comparison's been Luka Doncic. Like, offensively, you could say that, but defensively, Cade even offers something there. And the fact that he averages, like, I think 1.6 steals in college, like, he be gripping him up, man. Like, Cade is nice, like, all around. Like, and he's a team guy. And that's what I love the most about it is, like, Detroit sports or Detroit as Pistons teams always been, like, team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, like, how we won championships. So not only do we have a superstar, but we have a team guy as our superstar as well. Like, bro, dubs are coming, man. Are you expecting play-ins this year?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Me
So
too.
is Cade.
Me too.
So is Cade. He said it. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I think J.J. Redick was talking
Yeah,
on his
yeah, in
ass.
my
And
podcast,
Cade
yeah, he's like, "I'll
corrected
bet
him.
you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cade corrected him. Was like, no, man, if you ain't here to compete, and that's. I hate saying this because, you know, whenever you bring up Jordan, oh, he's not Jordan, but that was Jordan's mentality when he got to Chicago, too. Like, listen, we ain't here to tank. We don't need any more picks. What we need to do is build upon the core that we have. And similar to Isaiah Thomas when he got drafted here as the Pistons.
Yeah.
He wanted to build a champion. He wasn't trying to, like, take the cheap, easy way out.
Let's go.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I almost wish we had the clip, too, because, like, when he said it, JJ was like, ha, ha, like, trying. You know, sometimes you, like, kind of force to laugh along. Cade was dead ass, like, no. He's like,
no.
We're making, whatever team I'm going to, we're making the playoffs next year.
Right.
I'll bet you.
That's why we're here. We're here to win. And he's taken number 2.
Yes.
Which I thought was very, very interesting. I
heard you didn't like it at first.
I didn't.
Yeah.
At first, whenever you're taking down somebody from the rafters, I think it's kind of an insult to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, wait a minute. Why did you make the decision to retire this jersey if you're not going to stand by the decision to retire the jersey?
I can see that argument if we remember Chuck Daly for wearing it. You know, we have memories of him in a number 2 jersey, but we don't. He was a coach.
He was a coach. He had 2 championships. That's why he got the number 2 jersey. But normally with coaches, they just put him up there with nothing. For some reason, they elected to give this guy number 2.
And that's the thing, is I don't feel like anything drawn to the number 2 because he wasn't represented by the number 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it, but then once you hear Chuck Daly's daughter say, hey, we're blessing you with this number. It means a lot to me. The city means a lot to me. If she's not mad, I look like an asshole being mad. Right? It's her dad's retirement, not my dad.
Yeah.
You know, so she has a little more cachet when it comes to good or bad.
And I think that played along with it too. Is like she had no attachment to that number. You know what I'm saying? It was just the franchise itself. And if the franchise hasn't, you know, a young star they're going to bring in, the number 2 helps that move along. It was him feeling good and everything. Like, why not, man? I love how respectful and receptive he was to her after the fact, though, too. Because if he was a cocky, arrogant guy, like, oh, I deserve number 2, then you wouldn't have saw him come out on Twitter afterwards and thank Miss Daly directly, Sydney Daly, for allowing him to have the number 2. Like, this guy is just like, he's the real deal, man. He's respectful. He plays team ball. He plays defense. I just hope it ends up being one of those facts that he's so damn good that some of these I don't want to call them leeches. I'm trying to think of the name, like ring chasers, you know, come along eventually and join the Detroit Pistons.
You know what? If we get to the point now where people want to think that coming to the Pistons will get them a ring, I'll take that.
It's coming, man.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
You know, because we haven't had that. Most people come here to die. You know, like to ride out the rest of their career, collect a check, and leave.
That's what it felt
i.e.
like,
Blake
man.
Griffin.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that guy.
But that's what he did. He got his payday.
Yeah.
He hung out for a little bit. He took his money, and then he ran.
Speaking of guys coming to Detroit, have you looked at the free agent list by chance?
Yes, I have.
Any guys you think like realistic possibilities for us?
I mean, the name I keep hearing is Tim Hardaway Jr.
I saw that too, yeah.
That's the name that keeps getting popped up over and over and over. And Kelly Olynyk is another one.
Yeah.
And Kelly Oubre, I think, is another one.
Kelly Oubre?
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Because he's right in that. We have about $17 million in cap space right now, and he's about right in that range. Chris Paul is probably the highest sought-after free agent right now.
For sure.
We don't need him. Don't want him here. Honestly, like
honestly, I agree.
He's only going to stunt Cade's growth. He's only going to stunt Killian's growth.
Yeah, they're ball handlers. We don't want to. Yeah, no, I agree.
The guy I do like that is out there, I don't think we got enough money for him, is Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, that's like one.
Woo! You put Kawhi on this team? Woo!
Can you imagine like Cade like just feeding that guy like lobs and just on the other end playing defense together too? Yeah,
the defense, because Killian showed he's a hell of a defensive point guard last year.
Oh yeah,
like towards the end of the season, he was locking motherfuckers up,
bro.
And then Cade has already shown with his 7-foot wingspan that he's a good defender. Then you put Kawhi with it, all of a sudden, then that's Dwayne Casey style basketball too. He likes his guards to be able to defend.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely. I don't think we can afford him, but I would love it.
Do you like Hardaway Jr. coming here?
I do. I just don't know where he fits in. That's my thing. Like, if he comes here, okay, is he going to be a starter?
Yeah.
So who's on the bench?
You know what? He probably would be a starter. I think maybe Killian would come off the bench. But I can see Killian maybe surpassing him at some point. Because you got to think, too, Cade and Killian, they're both, like, ball handlers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Pause. But you know, they're the guys with the ball controlling, controlling, like, what's going on in the court. So, like, I could see them not being on the court at the same time, just so they could utilize like what they're great at. But then again, if you look at the stats, Killian is a great off-ball shooter, but Tim Hardaway is known for that. Tim Hardaway excelled under Deion Waiters. Is he a free agent too? He probably is.
I think he was showing the clap back from Hardaway.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it now.
Yep.
But no, Cade's pro comparison's been Luka Doncic. A guy who paired well with Luka Doncic is Tim Hardaway Jr. So like, I wouldn't be mad at him starting just because he seemed to have success in that style of play.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Hardaway would be a nice addition. Unfortunately, when I look at this free agent list and I look at how much money we have, there's nobody on here that's like, oh man, that's going to be a game changer for us.
Yeah.
So to me, maybe save the money till next year and stay the course this year.
Yeah.
Like, let the young guys get more run. We're not looking at being a top 2-3 seed. And then next year, KD comes off the books, and he likes to travel.
Ring chasing, man.
I'd take KD ring chasing here in Detroit.
Yeah. And Cade and KD actually have like a relationship too.
Cade D. There we go. It's already written itself.
Oh shit! And then you get the Detroit D, the Old English D, to make the. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm just saying, if we can get Kevin Durant in here next year, I would be a happy man.
He likes Sekou too. Him and Sekou have a relationship as well. Yo,
the stars are aligning, baby. They're aligning. But it's good that Cade is wearing number 2. It's awesome that Chuck Daly's family is completely behind it. And I'm excited to get this season rolling. I mean, preseason's going to be here before we know it in October, and then the games start, and LCA is going to be rocking. I want to reach out to the Pistons today to see how many tickets they've sold since they drafted Cade.
That's the other thing, too. This is going to be the first time, like, these guys, the Pistons, this team hasn't seen, like, that side of Detroit yet. Because, like, as of late, it's been, like, those ugly, now I'm going to call the seats ugly.
You haven't seen that side of Detroit yet. I got to be, how old are you, Easy?
20, I'm going to be 28 in August 10th.
Okay, so how old were you in 04?
I think I was, like, 12, maybe 10.
Okay, so you got a taste of
it.
Yeah,
I definitely got to be there and get loud and stuff like that too. And I used to have season tickets for like, I know how passionate the Detroit fan base is.
Right.
So I know like how like rocking this place is going to be. There's going to be no more empty seats. That shit used to upset me. Seeing all those like red seats like during the Pistons games is like, it was despair. It was disappointing because I grew up again with the 04 Pistons. Like 5 back-to-back conference championships. So we were always at least in the mix.
So spoiled. We were so spoiled. We didn't even know it.
So spoiled.
Honestly, and people still look bad upon Joe Dumars, which drives me insane. Like, I will take those Joe Dumars days for the rest of my life. Oh, we're in the Eastern Conference Final every year? Okay, we got a chance to win a championship every year?
A championship,
okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I agree.
The fact that people bash Joe Dumars, and yeah, he had some missteps, but nobody's perfect. He got us a championship. Joe Dumars was a part of every single championship the Pistons have ever touched.
His number's retired, right?
Yeah.
What do you wear?
And that's the thing. With the Pistons, you got 1 retired with Chauncey. You had 2 retired with Chuck Daly. You had 3 retired with Ben Wallace. You had 4 retired with Joe Dumars. Like, we've retired a lot of jerseys here in Detroit. I mean,
as a small market team, man. Like, you know how beautiful that is? Like, we actually have a good franchise, a historic one, too.
An elite one.
Yeah.
Not too many franchises have 3 championships.
That's what
We're
I'm saying,
one of them.
man. Yeah, and if you're looking at the ones, like, you look at Boston, LA, like I said, they're the big market teams. Like, we have that historical prowess where, like, we can, like, flash that a little bit. Like, don't you want to be a part of Detroit?
Right.
The going to work Pistons, the bad boys. Like, look at the lineage we have. Like, you could be up in those Raptors one day, Cade. Like, come on,
We'll
man.
hang your number 2 next to Chuck Daly's number 2.
Yeah.
We'll have 2 number 2s up there. It'll make a lot of sense. One player that formerly used to play for the Lions doesn't give a shit about playing the Lions anymore, and it's for one reason. I'll give you a hint. Our former head coach. And we'll find out who that is and what they had to say coming up next on Woodward Sports.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back to the Midday Show on Woodward Sports. My name is Stick. This is the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Up on the stage with me right now, Mr. Easy. And
what up, though?
Of course, we have Art and Kennedy in here. Kennedy showing the shoulder today, too.
Hey, when you said her name earlier, she did a little... I don't know if you noticed. She did a little...
Oh, you flipping your hair?
Yeah, gosh, we went back to the beginning. She was like...
So, Kennedy, you threw this on the prep sheet.
I did.
And the title of it is Fuck Matt Patricia.
I hate him so much.
You do hate Matt Patricia?
Like maybe the most hated person on the planet for me.
Wow. Really?
Like, seriously. He just sucks all around. Like, the guy hasn't done a single good thing, especially for Detroit. He, like, I don't even know if I can give him any of the clout for New England. Like, can we really after seeing that? No. So I have no reason to like the guy. You know, the whole sexual assault thing that came out when he got here. That's not fucking cool either. No. You get rid of all of my favorite players left because of you. I was left with dog shit. And we're finally building back up now, but he just ruined everything for me, and I hate him the most.
You know what I love about this? Kennedy is sitting there right now on her computer, a picture of a sticker of Darius Slay's jersey.
Yeah. I'm really sad about it, okay?
Right. But is that kind of what sparked this, what Darius Slay said about him?
Yeah, for sure. Seeing that, I mean, we knew, like, that he was upset about that, what had happened in the locker room, him calling him, like, not a real man or something to that extent. I don't really remember. And there, like, being, like, a riff in the locker room about that. So, yeah, no. I have no respect for Matt Patricia.
So that was your least favorite thing about Matt Patricia? You drove your favorite players out of town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's enough, I think, to really not like this guy.
Absolutely.
Well, here's what Darius Slay had to say about playing Detroit this season. And you think he'd want some get back, right? No.
How about the Detroit game? You excited for that one?
No, not anymore. That right. I was. If Patricia was there, I'd have been very excited.
All right. My favorite part is the guy at the end that going, all right. Like, oh, well, that's that. It's crazy the like visceral response that guy's name gets here. Like, you could bring up Rod Marinelli, who went 0-16, and everyone's like, oh, Rod and his sharp shovel. Like, it was, we tried that year, and it just didn't work out for us. Dude wins 5 games for us last year. It's like, get out! You are the worst thing that's ever happened to Detroit.
No, it's I was blessed to speak with both Darius Slay and Glover Quinn on this topic, and Matt Patricia just wasn't a good guy, honestly. And it come down to like leadership. Glover Quinn said he's a good coach, but awful leadership. Like there's no respect to them as grown men, and he didn't have the clout that Bill Belichick does when it comes to like that totalitarian style of leadership, where I can kind of like just shit on you a bit or tell you what to do. Right. And even beyond that, he was just disrespectful. Like Slay in his situation, he came down to he grabbed a jersey from Odell Beckham, I believe, is maybe preseason even, and Matt Patricia referenced him doing a sexual thing to Odell Beckham,
blowing him, right?
Yeah,
and you can't blow another player or something like that.
And not only is he a grown man, but he's a Pro Bowl caliber player and a leader in your locker room. You know what I'm saying? It's like the disrespect him like that in front of everybody. Like, I'm sure he didn't take that well. Kenny said it perfectly. He shipped everyone out of here. Glover Quinn retired early because he wasn't enjoying the game like he used to. Darius Slay left. Like, everybody that was here as an anchor, or at least as a leader that we could have for like the new people we brought in, left because of this guy.
Yeah, he definitely just got rid of anybody who challenged his authority. Like he reminds me of Cartman.
Like Cartman. Yeah,
he is Cartman, man. He's a big fat guy that rolled around on his four-wheeler all practice because he couldn't walk, because if he fell over, fucking ragu would fall out of his leg. And then we got this year, our coach is doing down-ups, flexing like he's the man. And it's just such a different approach on how you treat grown-ass men. Like, some players just won't give you what you want if you treat them like shit.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. And I'm kind of one of those guys. The
I'm
more you're hard on me, the more I'm just like, I ain't doing shit for you.
Bro, everything that drives me to be great is passion, right?
Right.
If you can't speak to me as a human or as a man, I want to be happy in life. So fuck you. Like, you can eat a dick. I don't care who you are to me, like in life, like what you've succeeded. If you treat me like shit, like, I'm more than willing to give you opportunity to punch me in the face, because I'm going to say what I feel. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
And I'll just eliminate you from my life.
Exactly.
Like, I don't need that.
Exactly. Another thing, too, with him is, like, the leadership is fucking awful, bro. Like, I believe he said, I had the greatest defensive call of all time in Super Bowl history. Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, that was an awful call on the offensive coordinator side from Seattle.
Right.
And then the other thing, too, where he complained about...
Oh, but who was that offensive coordinator?
Pete Carroll. Oh,
Darryl Bevell.
Darryl Bevell. Exactly. Yeah. Did not have the wherewithal, like who you're like all offending to. Like, it's insane that. And then I remember the time where he complained about the team that he received. He's like, well, I wasn't given much to work with. Like, first of all, as a leader, you don't make excuses. You hold yourself accountable for everything. If you want to be better as a person, you can't be better unless you recognize what problems you have.
Right.
If you're just ignoring them, like, oh, nothing's wrong with me, you'll never grow from that. So that was just stupid. And then, like, it's just embarrassing, dude. Like, because the team made the playoffs beforehand, too. So now you also sound like an idiot as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, this team was in the playoffs before you got him. What do you mean you weren't given much to work with?
Right.
The guy before you was taking these guys to the playoffs.
Yeah, we were told 9-7 wasn't good enough when you got here. But then all of a sudden, you didn't have enough in the bank to get it done with. Well, really, the coach before you got him 9-7. That's a winning record. The coach before you was the winningest head coach percentage-wise in Lions history.
Yeah.
He had some tools in the shed. Or maybe you took all the good athletes and all the good things that he cultivated, pissed them off, and they left. Glover Quinn, he's going to be a Pro Bowler. He still is. He plays like it out in Seattle. You know, Darius Slay, Pro Bowler, plays like it in Philadelphia now. And we just pissed these guys away because of ego, and you hate to see it.
Fucking hate it, man. It was god-awful leadership. And, like, this first sign of that, for me, you're out.
Right.
Because I know you can't do it. If you can't lead, fuck the X's and O's. These guys are going to hate you, and you're going to embarrass yourself because you're going to say stupid shit like you did, or I wasn't good at giving a good enough team, or I made the best play like this. Like, if you can't fucking lead, you can't be in the position. You got to go because that guys see through that shit.
Right, and good leaders will never take credit for the win and will always take credit for the loss. So, like, that's what good leaders do.
Exactly.
It's we when we win, and it's me when we lose. That should be the only way. The guys that are like, I got you here, and then you lose, and it's like, well, wait, didn't you just get us there? Aren't you the guy that got us there? Now we're losing, so how are you going to now blame us that you didn't have the right tools? So, yeah, we could go on and on and on. Why'd you bring this up, Kennedy?
Yeah.
I know. You know what? I'm sorry. But
we did, like, just get lit up here for a minute.
You have to sometimes. It feels a little good to, like, go in on him and just, you're like, it's like therapy.
It is
like
therapy.
Better.
What do you got to say to Matt Patricia right now?
Fuck you, Matt Patricia. I hate you. But no, I think you were making really good points about leadership, Easy. Like, I think I've told this to Stick before. Like, I respect Stick so much when he digs into me a little bit because he doesn't do it every day.
Yeah.
So, like, when you hear only negative things all the time, after a while, you don't even, like, hear it anymore, and it means nothing to you.
Yeah.
But, like, when you're always getting, like, a good job or, like, hey, but this could have been better, then you listen because that's how, you know, you're supposed to sandwich it. Good, bad, good.
Yeah. Right.
And with him, I think it was just all bad, and they never heard, you know, anything good come out of his mouth. I certainly didn't, so.
Even that is like, how do you respect the guy if he can't, like, see the faults of his own to grow from them?
Thank you.
Thank
you. People that can't take accountability for their own actions are the worst when it comes to that.
The fucking worst, and you cannot be in leadership positions with that, and that's a like, scenario.
And my old boss used to have a great saying about this, too, is like, you can only flip the table so many times, right? Like,
exactly.
every halftime you're coming in, flipping the table, yelling at your team.
Yeah.
First 3 times, it's like,
yeah.
God, coach is here. We got to, like, let's get going. The 5th time, it's like, oh, here comes coach. Bet you he flips the table.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a
just
facade.
Flipped the table. Like, it becomes a joke after a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Exactly.
there was no pure intention. It was a facade. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have known when he told the guy to posture up. And it's like, I'm a bigger guy. I'm never going to tell another person, oh, you should work out. You should do this better because, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you be a fat slob and tell this guy to posture up? You pasta up, bro. Like, come on, man.
Up.
Yeah, like,
I like your self-awareness there, Easy. I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to say, yeah, Stick, you should watch what you eat, brother. Like, how fucking stupid does that sound? Like, come on, bro.
Well, they're having fun in Allen Park now, and even to the point where they're asking silly questions to everybody before they walk into the practice. And we got one of the answers to probably one of the most debated questions of all time. And we're going to talk about that coming up next on the Woodward Sports Network. But first, let me tell you about our friends at Northwestern Tech. If you're at a job right now and you don't like your boss and he's not a good leader, tell you what, 10.5 months, you'll have a brand new job, and it pays very well. Heating and cooling, everybody needs it, whether it's pandemic or not. This is something that will not go away. So 10.5 months from now, you could have a brand new career, and all you got to do is go to northwesterntech.edu to find out how.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Welcome back to Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Thank you guys for being a part of the show this afternoon. Make sure you download our app. It's available right now for free in Apple or Google Play stores. Just search Woodward Sports Network. It shows up as WSN Live, and you can put that in your phone and take us with you anywhere that you go, especially on August 12th when we launch the new show, The Bottom Line, with Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermani. So we're talking about one of life's most pressing questions, and something that I've seen many people debate over. I've seen friendships end over this. Does pineapple go on pizza? That is the question, and they asked the Detroit Lions as they were walking into training camp what they had to say about this, and here's some of their responses.
Pineapple on pizza. Pineapple on pizza. If you eat pineapple on pizza, that's wicked. Not even a question. Why should you put pineapple on pizza? Dang.
No pineapples. No pineapples.
Pineapple belongs on pizza. Don't let one tell you otherwise.
No, that's not. No.
Pineapple on pizza. No, sir.
10 times out of 10, I'm getting pineapple.
You're getting pineapple?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no way.
If you put pizza on, well, pineapple on your pizza, you're crazy. And I'm a crazy person.
I love Jamal Williams so much. On pizza, you crazy, and I'm a crazy person. I love that guy so much, man. So, Easy, as the resident big man of the show right now, does pineapple go on pizza? Why are you laughing so hard, Kennedy?
As a resident big man on the show? Jesus.
It's a lot of things I said coming up to make it to this stage that I could be canceled for. This pineapple pizza statement is very cancelable. I'm just gonna say to each their own.
No, you have to answer.
I'm not fucking mad if you put pineapple on your pizza, bro. Like, no one likes the same shit.
Do you put it on your pizza?
To each their own. I like a freak that's grown. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you like, do what you like.
Okay, what does Easy like?
I don't like pineapple on my pizza, but
there you go.
So you're saying no?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
You know.
Kennedy?
Okay.
Kennedy.
This was before I was vegan, so obviously. But I used to be a big Hawaiian pizza girl, so I vote yes. I don't like it with the ham. Screw the ham, but when you do it with bacon, so you get the salty bacon with the sweet pineapple. Put some ranch on that hoe. Yeah.
A little bit of jalapeno on that too.
Yeah.
Give you that spice.
Yep.
Wait,
how do they do it? How do they do it in the trailers? Do they put pineapple on pizza?
Hey, listen, if you put pineapple on your pizza, you're probably a serial killer. I'm just saying. That's so weird. Like, anyone who mixes like meats with sweets, I don't trust them as a person.
See, now I gotta tell you, Jets has this thing. It's called a chicken aloha pizza. It's chicken, barbecue sauce, pineapple, and bacon. Best thing I've ever put in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. It is good when they do it with a barbecue sauce.
I guess, possibly.
See, now I think differently of sticks. Why do we have to bring this up, guys?
Why? Because I like pineapple on my pizza? I don't like pineapple on all pizza. Like, if I get a Supreme, I don't want pineapple on it. I don't want pineapple and olives and all that shit.
Yeah, fuck olives. By the way, anybody who likes olives, like, I don't care getting canceled for that one. Fuck olives. By the way.
I like olives on pizza.
I love olives on everything.
There's like, you could take like pineapple on pizza, but you said it's the best thing you ever put in your mouth?
Dude, it's one of my favorite pizzas ever.
Are you gonna order it for lunch today and share?
We can. Yeah, right when we get off, I'll order
bet.
the chicken aloha pizza. What is always interesting, because honestly, this always turns into such a debate. Like, people are so passionate about pineapple on pizza.
Brandon put a comment that I highly agree with. No sauce on pizza is the best. I agree with
what?
that.
Oh, I'm an extra
cheese
sauce.
bread.
That's not pizza.
That's not pizza.
Well, you know,
yeah, it's cheese bread.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, that's
cheese
not
bread is
pizza.
good, but
Yeah.
pizza has sauce.
Do you dip it in sauce if you don't have sauce on it?
Yeah, you can. That's the
Yeah,
beauty
that's
of
false.
having.
Yeah, because
Bring me a deconstructed pizza so I can put it together.
Yeah, that's not pizza. That's cheese
Work
bread.
smarter, not harder.
Oh, look, my mic's not working again. Gotta go.
Thomas Miller, I work at Jets and can confirm Aloha barbecue chicken is one of the most popular. See? Boom!
Yep.
Right there. We have a Jets worker in the chat.
Well, you know what? Is Isaac coming in today?
I think so, yeah.
We'll have him eat some too and rate it.
There you go.
Isaac eats.
Fish, what about you? We haven't got your opinion on this, buddy.
I don't do pineapple on pizza, but I'm okay if people have it on. Chicken on pizza. People
I like
don't,
chicken.
Yeah, but chicken on pizza is not the normal. People don't get crazy when you ask for chicken on pizza. So what's the difference between pineapple and chicken on a pizza?
Look,
there
I'll
isn't
eat
any.
It. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure
Just because pineapple is
not
sweet
like
and chicken is not doesn't mean that it's not weird to put it on a pizza.
Fishy, what kind of pizza do you order? Just cheese?
Pepperoni.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised.
He's a simple man.
But
He's
I'm
a
just
simple
saying
man.
that
That's why I thought
people
just cheese.
when you
Well,
say
you're skinny.
chicken, people don't go, "Oh my God, you're weird." They only do that if it's pineapple.
So what's your pepperoni? Kennedy, if you had to order your favorite pizza, what would it be?
So I used to work at Marco's Pizza in high school, and my favorite was, obviously before I was vegan, it was called the white cheesy, and it was like a white cheese sauce. And
Why does it gotta be white?
You
Why
understand
can't it
black
just be cheesy?
cheese?
No.
That probably means it's moldy. Anyway, so it was like it was a cheese sauce, a white cheese sauce with feta, and then so they would have like the baked feta on top of it, and so instead of tomato sauce, there was tomatoes and spinach and bacon. It was so good.
All right, Easy, what's your go-to?
When I was 19, I worked at this place called Boatyard Grill, and they made this the barbecue chicken pizza. And I put some ranch on it every once in a while. That shit slapped. That or a good what's the one you put the tomato and like the extra sauce on top? Is it like
a margarita?
Yes, the margarita. But I get pepperoni in my margarita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Art, what about you? What you ordering?
To further prove that I'm probably a serial killer, according to the chat, I do the gluten-free, and I do extra cheese, pepperoni, mushroom, bacon, green pepper, and no sauce.
All right. My ideal pizza is just mushroom and sausage. I love mushroom and sausage on
great.
pizza. That's such a good combination, man.
Yeah.
A little bit of hot sauce. You guys put hot sauce on your pizza?
Hell yeah.
But I was at Freddy's this
to.
weekend, and they have like a hot honey. I forgot to fucking try it too.
Hot honey?
Yeah, I promise you, for some reason, I feel like it slaps.
Yeah, and shout out to Freddie the Pizza Man, Isaac from Isaac Eats. It's a show that we have on our YouTube channel here at Woodward Sports. He was out at Freddie the Pizza Man's this weekend with you and trying all the pizza, man.
Yeah, I actually got a Freddie the Pizza Man hat, and I couldn't find it this morning, so Coast will have to do.
So way to go. Yeah, and shout out to Coast. We love the people at Coast. All right, coming up next, me and Fish have a debate.
Uh-oh.
I already know who's taking sides in this because Kennedy's on Fish's side. I haven't heard from.
Why don't you just save it for the show?
Huh?
Why don't you save it for the show?
We are going to save it for the show, but we got to tease it right now on the show.
Yeah, but
Fish.
you don't want to tease too much, or else they won't come back.
All right. Well, it's going to be a debate. It's a moral debate. It's a real debate, and it's about something very important. And we're going to have that conversation coming up next on Woodward Sports.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. Ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys. Welcome back to the Midday Show on Woodward Sports, Detroit's all-digital sports network. We got a crew hanging out today. Easy's here, Art's here, Kennedy's here, and my nemesis right now, Fish, is here. And normally I get in the studio like, 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning. Start doing prep for the morning show, pulling videos, going over the topics that we're going to talk about from the night before, obviously, and then we just update all the statistics and things that we want to include in the show. And something happened yesterday during the Olympics, and I didn't see it till this morning. Fish, do you want to say exactly what happened? Because you know a little more in depth than I do.
was watching it live in the morning. NBC had it taped away in the afternoon. Screw them. I watched it live at 8:15 a.m., I believe it was. It was a very good night, by the way. They had the men's 100 meters, which was also won by an Italian. So it was a good night. Are you a track and field fan?
Yeah.
I was in the high jump, so 2.17 meters was what they started at. The two gentlemen from Qatar and Italy, they made it all the way to 2.39 or 2.39 without a missed jump, and then 2.39 all the competitors missed. So they were the two remaining people that have not missed a jump, and they had a chance to either have a jump off to do the gold or tie the gold medal, and they chose to tie the gold medal. There's an official there. They talked about what to do, and they decided to tie the gold. But you really need to see the video for it to actually make sense, because I told you, you're probably like, high jump. I would have done the same thing. I would have done, oh, easy, playoff. But if you watch the video, then you change your mind, because you see how happy they were. You see how happy the Italian guy was and the Qatar guy. So the video really changed my opinion.
Yeah, so general synopsis, these two guys competed.
Yep.
They both came out with the same distance or the same height, and neither of them could beat that height, right? So they sat down with the official, and the resolution was to give each one of them a gold medal.
Yes, if you're talking about it right now, I would have said, oh, playoff, they're a bunch of idiots. Why didn't they decide to do gold, silver, bronze?
So because they were so excited, that's why you're cool with it?
Yeah, because of the video that came out, I'm happy that they decided to go 2 gold medals. I mean, it's simple as. You just saw how happy they were. You saw them jumping and celebrating. It's
so to quote the great Herm Edwards, you play to win the game.
Yes, and they played to win the game. They won the game.
No one won.
They didn't win.
Nobody won.
They gave up.
Yeah, they quit because they knew they were both going to get a gold medal. And like you said, there's nobody
But they had
getting,
the option.
There's nobody
they
getting
had the option
the reason
to
why
win.
that man was so happy is because he didn't have to lose.
Right.
He didn't have to lose that day.
He didn't have to work for a gold medal.
He wasn't happy because he won. He was happy because he didn't have to
work
lose.
for a gold medal. They had like 58 jumps to get to that point.
I thought the whole point of the Olympics was to find out who the absolute best in the world is.
Yes, and you know who the best are, and sometimes it is 2 people who are the best.
We'll find out who's the best. Let's find out who's the fucking best.
Just keep jumping.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Lower the bar a little bit if you can't make that jump.
Fight.
What are we doing here? Like, what has the Olympics become to where people can quit team sports, join back for individuals? Now, if you want a gold and you want to share it with your buddy because you tied, you both get gold. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. But Kennedy, you're with Fish on this one, right?
I'm with Fish on this one. Well, I watched the video too, and the video, like, I was like tearing up a little bit.
It's not even that kind of moment.
No, you live for those moments where
no.
Yes, you do.
You live for victory.
Well,
that was a victory.
They both won,
No.
and that's awesome that they came to the conclusion that they could share.
You didn't see the video and crack a smile a little?
Yeah, nothing.
No, I got pissed.
I
You saw me this morning. I was
did.
like, what did they just do,
And that's
Fish?
why you have no soul.
I have a soul.
Well, it's not
Stick out
visible.
soul. I seen him dance.
Yeah.
It's not visible.
Okay, I've never seen
It's
him
not
dance.
visible. No, I thought Alex, the producer or the technical director from the morning show, had a great solution. If these guys wanted to split a medal, fine. You both get silver. Because none of you are worth gold.
I would be fine with that.
I'm okay with that solution.
I would actually be fine with that.
Kennedy, what do you think about that?
Why?
So no one gets gold because nobody actually won.
Listen, when you
But how do you actually win silver then?
Because there's 2 of you and you don't know who's second
So
place.
you're saying 2 silvers makes 1 gold?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying it's better than awarding 2 golds and no
logic.
silver. Like, if you're going to take the easy way out and you're going to take, I'm going to get my gold medal this way by not actually earning it, you don't get your gold. You get a silver, pal.
They get like thousands of more dollars for a gold.
Well, of course they do. Why do you think these
so
guys
let them just run their checks. Let them get their bag and let's.
See, that's the thing too, is like, because I see someone in the comments in the chat. They're like, "Did you see the video?" Yes, I saw the video. That's not the happiness you get from like winning it. Like Kevin Garnett, when he won the NBA championship and he said anything is possible. Right. And he was just in glory. Like, he was so damn happy in that moment. That was a relief. That was a relief.
It was
high
not.
five
It was
and hug.
happy. The one Italian guy almost
when
broke
I
his
watched the video
leg
because he jumped into another man's arms. Like, that was a relief.
It's called Olympics.
Right, and they're competing for a gold medal, not multiple gold medals.
Well, they ended up being able to tie. They had the option. They chose to tie.
Right, and where is the competitive nature in that?
Yeah, that's the thing. You're competing.
They both respected each other. They said, okay, we both had the same amount of jumps. They both missed the same amount of jumps.
Do you think they'd make the same decision if it was for silver?
Yeah, I bet you they did not want to jump more.
I
agree they didn't
Well,
so
that's the
tired.
only thing you do in your life is jump? You don't want to jump twice more?
No.
And Fish, you said it's a respect thing. UFC fighters punch each other in the literal face and still have respect after the fact. You compete.
Yeah, that's UFC, and there's ties in UFC.
Okay, how much of a dick do you
by
sound
judges,
like?
not by just giving up.
If one of them's like, let's split it, and the other one's like, no, fuck you. We're going to keep going.
That's what you do.
That's what you do. The judge gave them the option.
I feel like an asshole.
Here's a prime example, okay? And I was in Grand Rapids working for a radio station out there, and we were giving away a car. And it was called Smooch a Subaru, where you had to keep your lips on the car longer than anybody else, right? And we're nearing the end. We're nearing 80 hours of these people being up, lips on the car, right?
So crazy.
They had 10-minute breaks every hour to go to the bathroom and do whatever they had to do. Then they had to get back on the car. One girl was fading fast. Like, you could tell. She was not going to make it another hour, maybe 2 hours at the very most. So the girl that, like, saw the weakness in her went to her and offered her, like, hey, let's split this because it doesn't look like you're doing good right now. What that did is it inspired the girl who we thought was going to fail, and she goes, no, I ain't splitting this. I came here to win. She turned it on to another gear and outlasted the other girl and ended up winning the car when she was on the brink of, like, losing it all.
You play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
No,
we don't hand out, it's not gold, silver, bronze. It's not gold, bronze. And I asked this for fish last night with Olympic golf. 7 people tied for the bronze medal.
Holy.
7.
Yeah.
You know what they did?
What'd they do?
They went to a playoff.
Yeah, but
hole.
everyone knew that going in. They knew that going in that they would have a playoff for either gold, silver, or bronze.
The other thing, too, that kind of upset me, low-key, No Cap Kennedy. That's what they're calling you in the
golf
chat.
is
I
used
kind of
to
like
it,
that.
so.
People are calling me No Cap Kennedy?
No Cap Kennedy.
Where?
Sounds like your street name. I don't know. But it says, why do you love sports?
Right.
I love sports because they compete. I love sports because ultimately there's a winner and the joy you see from that. I love sports because of Brett Favre playing football, Monday Night Football after the passing of his father. Isaiah Thomas coming out after his sister passed. Like, guys triumphing over like things they challenged over and then earned their victory. I get these guys are like at the grandest stage for a reason. They didn't earn the gold medal. They just gave up.
Right, and how far are we going to go with this? If the whole field decides they don't want to run anymore, and there's 12 people all, like, we give out 12 gold medals?
No, it's a withdraw.
Huh?
It's that's a withdraw. They all don't get anything.
And the chat saying
it's not the same. They actually jumped.
I know they actually jumped, but they didn't have a winner. Up. So who's
they
better?
had 2 winners.
Who's better between these two? Do we know?
I mean, if you watch it, technically you can say one of them's better based on how high he jumped. Based on clearing the bar. Like, one guy could have cleared the bar by 2 inches, the other guy could have cleared it by 1 inch. And by the way, speaking to your point, there was a tie in gymnastics this morning. 2 people got the bronze. You think they wanted to jump off?
They should.
Well, they didn't. They gave them the bronze. No one's talking about that.
Because they didn't walk away with gold. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, you're walking away with the pinnacle of the prizes. Like, the apex, the biggest you can get. You're the best in the world. You walk around with a gold medal on you, meaning that you are the best. Well, not really, when this guy has one too. It takes away the importance of the gold medal, I feel.
Yeah, I see people commenting about the UFC and boxers going to draws all the time, but the difference is those are judges, like, concluding to that draw. This is the 2 competitors saying, okay, let's just stop and, like, not see who's best and just, like, split this thing. Matter of fact, hold me in your arms real quick for this quick embrace.
Art, you usually have a good opinion. What do you think about this, man?
Listen, you're fucking jumping. You're not killing each other. Like, just keep jumping until you find a winner.
Thank you. If we could do it at field day in grade school, we could do it at the Olympics.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if you were to use that logic for the UFC, someone would literally die. Like, hey, you're just going to punch each other until the other person gets knocked out. Like, you're jumping. That's all that you're doing. You're going to sprain an ankle or maybe bust a knee. Like, fuck you. Get back to jumping. I want to know who's going to win.
You can break your neck when you go to land because they're jumping backwards.
Right,
so
but if we're using
your neck.
but again, you're just jumping. Like, you're not hitting. There's no brain damage. Like, if they were to tell fighters you're fighting until someone gets knocked out or someone literally dies, that would happen. Like, someone would die.
I'd love that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
I wish I was alive back in, like, the Coliseum days.
Before we go to break, Sean Strickland beat Uriah Hall this weekend, and he said that he can't wait to be the first UFC fighter to actually kill someone in the octagon. What's your thoughts on that?
That's a
too far.
You brought up like the I'd love to see somebody fight to the death or whatever. Like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I would, but hearing some guys say that though is completely different than me wanting to go back to gladiator days and watching dudes fight lions and bears and each other, and those were just different times back then, man.
I love Sean Strickland.
Yeah,
he's been underrated for a minute. He's just Energizer Bunny. He is in there literally trying to kill people. He's fucking nonstop. Go, 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 go.
Well, needless to say, hopefully a gold medal is decided here or there, or this is just going to be it for the rest of history. We're no longer going to give out silvers or bronzes. If you tie for gold, everybody gets gold.
You give out medals to see who's the best.
Right.
And they were the clear two best favorites.
Get him, fishy.
I don't understand what you're saying. We want to see the best. Okay, they were clearly the best.
No,
hence,
not clearly.
We don't know who's the best.
Yes, it was clear as day.
Exactly, not clearly. That's perfect.
It was clear as day. They were the two competitors that did not miss a jump until 2.39.
Yeah, see, this is what's going to happen.
There was another guy who had the same thing as 2.37, but because he missed the jump in an earlier
had to split
stage,
their national championship
did they
with
have
Tennessee?
3 people? No, they did not.
Yeah.
They had 2.
Remember when Michigan had to split their championship with Tennessee, and now Tennessee feels like they won the national championship, and Michigan still feels like they won the national championship, when in reality, neither of them won the national championship. It's just on the books that way.
That was crazy.
Right.
That was crazy.
So to me, it's the same point. All right, if you guys both believe you're national champion, get on the field and fight it out. Let's go. Let's see what happens. That's why we have these competitions, so there's measurables on these
competition.
There is measurables.
There's no measurable in that one. They just conceded.
They didn't concede. They jumped.
They conceded.
They conceded. They hugged each other, and
People
now
are
both
only
of them
watching
are
that one
flaunting their
video,
stuff around Olympic Village,
which is good. But they had jumps.
gold medal
They had
betas.
like an hour of jumping to get to this point.
They've had 4 years to train for an hour of jumping. They'll be all right.
Well, okay, in the final, but they had 5 years to prepare, and then obviously they had other jump. They had the semis and they had the qualifiers.
I just thought it was an
other
interesting
jumps.
conversation to get into.
I just put it on the prep to be like, why do you guys like what draws you to sports? And mine was like camaraderie and
Well, why don't we get into that
I always
next?
love when the guys hug it out after.
Why don't we get into that next?
Okay,
because we kind of went way off your topic on what you do love about sports and what makes you love sports.
That video makes me love sports.
Me too, Fish.
You guys have no
watching-
soul.
Watching two second
You want
place
to see us
people
hug each
it
other
out.
right now? Would that make you love sports?
Because they were excited.
Woo! Stick! Woo! You like sports now? Does that make you love sports too?
You know why they were excited, Fish? They didn't have to do anything, and they both got gold.
No, they
didn't have to lose.
You guys don't understand. They got gold because they
Conceded.
played. They didn't concede. They
They
jumped.
conceded.
They jumped.
Well,
And they had 0 misses the whole
They
time.
jumped into each other's
They
arms.
had another
and they
guy
should
that
have
had the
jumped
same
till one
exact
of them missed,
score.
and
They
we'd
had
have
the
a
same
pure
exact.
winner.
They had the same. Okay, well, they didn't want to do that. Talk to them. They had the other guy that had the same score of 2.37, but the
If
guy
you
missed
ain't
the
first, you
jump.
last.
right.
So the guy
There you
didn't
go.
make it.
If you can't quote Ricky Bobby, what are we doing here?
If you ain't first,
If you ain't first, you're last. So they weren't first, they last.
Well, they're first.
Easy, why don't you tell us about my bookie?
My bookie. If you guys want to win some money on an actual winner rather than going to a draw and lose money, make sure you head over to mybookie.ag and use promo code Woodward. It's mybookie.ag. Match up to $1,000 in promotions, and code Woodward can match you up to $1,000. That's how you get there. Make sure you bet on, I guess not Olympic sports because it's become the I don't even know what you want to call it. The crybaby. Everyone gets a trophy. You share the medals. We're not here to compete Olympics. If you want to bet on real sports, football starts this Thursday. Make sure you head over to mybookie.ag and use that promo code Woodward and match yourself up to $1,000.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
welcome back. It is the afternoon show or midday show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Thank you guys for being a part of the conversation. People are going back and forth in the chat. I like when people argue with each other in the chat, too. Like, it becomes personal, and, like, we'll be talking about this, and they're still over here arguing about crazy shit. So,
yeah,
we love to see it. Thank you guys for being a part of the conversation, just being so passionate about sports. Kennedy, we were going to talk about Evander Kane real quick, but let's get back on the original version of why you wanted to put those guys hugging after they both received gold medals into the prep. Sorry it pissed me off so much.
It's okay. It happens.
I apologize for that. But what do you love about sports? Like, what has drawn you to sports?
Yeah, so a lot of it for me is the sportsmanship aspect of it. Is, like you said, easy. Like, these guys will be, like, beating the shit out of each other, but then, you know, they'll tap gloves after and they'll be fine. And that's what I've always loved about it, watching other people be excited for people hitting milestones or whatever. There was, who was fighting the other week? And they, like, really, they hugged it out afterwards, and I tweeted about it, but I can't even remember the fighter's name. But I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. It's so nice.
Was it the Shane O'Malley fight when he was absolutely blistering that dude's face
No.
and they hugged after?
They did hug, yeah, but there was one where the guy was, like, down, and the guy went down and he hugged him, and I was like, oh, that was sweet. But no, it wasn't the O'Malley fight. I remember that. That one's, like, tattooed in my brain. That was awesome, but that's why I brought it up.
All right. Well, Easy, what makes you fall in love with sports? And if you're watching right now, make sure you drop in the chat what got you involved in sports and loving them.
It's the ability to relate to life and, like, overcoming obstacles into a step of greatness. And for some of these guys, like, it's that draft day feel when you see these guys go from rags to riches because they busted their ass. They compete to get, like, where they dreamed of being, and that they can provide for their families. It's even beyond that too when you're finally in the league, and it's like the LeBron factor where guys just, like, shitting on you year after year after year, and you get that first championship in Miami, and it's that all that weight kind of just comes off your shoulders when it comes back on the next season anyway. But it's just overcoming obstacles. Because it's like real life situations. This isn't like a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's not like scripted.
Right.
These like real life scenarios where guys are just like busting their ass, and you could like kind of relate that to yourself and your life and whatever your obstacles are and whatever you want to be. It's just it's real life reality television. Honestly, it really is.
It honestly is the original reality television, and that is one aspect of things I love about sports. But the main thing I love about sports is just witnessing human excellence. Witnessing how far we can push our bodies, witnessing what can happen when a team comes together and has a common goal. Those are all things that I absolutely love. And obviously, there's so many caveats, as our boy D-Mac would say, to that. The caveat is...
And culture.
And honestly, the culture that it creates, like the memories that it's given me. You know, like anytime, before we started Woodward Sports, anytime I met an athlete or anybody who like has been a part of my watching experience or just a part of my life, the thing I like to say to them is thank you. And I don't think athletes hear that enough because they provide you with so many memories. Like my dad passed away 3 years ago. My best memories are being at the ballpark with him, watching Ryan Rayburn hit a walk-off home run in Comerica Park. Rayburn's not this huge star, but Ryan Rayburn means something to me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
All because of that one moment in time that was captured in Comerica Park with me and my dad sitting 10 rows up. Like that's like the romantic side of it, you know, like it just provides you with so much joy. It provides you with anguish. It helps you become a better person, I feel sports do.
That's a good point, too, because it's like that vacuum of solidarity. Or like you're at a Lions game. That's the reason why the whole Kaepernick stuff is so like distasteful when it was like people were arguing over it, because like sports is where you go to escape that. Where you're all rooting for the same team, and when they score that fucking touchdown, and my man's like forward down, you're high-fiving everybody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You don't care what they look like. You don't know what they fucking believe in. Like, you guys are all happy rooting for that same like team and same moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I just love that it can do that for everybody.
That reminds me, so what was it? Was it 2 years ago? I posted a Facebook post on my page about that. Like, hey, you know, the one thing I love about athletics, it doesn't care if you're black, it doesn't care if you're white, it doesn't care the color of your skin, and it really doesn't even care how tall, small you are. It's can you get the job done?
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. Wins, losses, and do you help the team? And then, of course, Drew Brees opens his mouth. And I'm like, you know, because I was like, the U.S. should be a lot more like a locker room. you know, and this was obviously when there was a ton of turmoil going on and stuff like that. But I said that. I'm like, the U.S. needs to be more like a locker room. Then literally that day, Drew Brees comes out and says what he says and divides the locker room. And I'm like, okay, maybe it doesn't need to be like a locker room. But at the same time, that is another beautiful part about sports. Like, I grew up playing with kids from all races, all over the place. And you played against kids from all races, all over the place. And you didn't judge them if they were black, white, brown, indifferent. You judged them on, oh, shit, that kid's fast. Oh, shit, that kid can hit. That kid can throw. Like, those are the tangibles that you judge on. And that's what I love about sports, too, is it's just, if you're good, you're good. Yeah. You could be poor and be good. You could be rich and be bad. Like, there's no benefit to any socioeconomic things.
Exactly. And it's like if you walk into an elevator, right, and you don't know this guy at all, but he may have like a Lions shirt on. And you guys can speak on moments that automatically, like, not bond you guys together, because who knows, you're going to talk to this guy the rest of your life, but you can share a moment with that person, you know what I'm saying, that you both relate to, like the Calvin Johnson, like, no catch, like, oh, yeah, that pissed me off, man, or the Javid Best touchdown on Monday Night Football, you know what I'm saying, like, the way that you can connect to people from totally different worlds. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't even have to be, like, on the field. It could be the off-field moments, too, like, just remembering as fans.
Yeah, it's an instant icebreaker. Like, Art's a prime example. Art doesn't love all the 4 major sports and stuff like that. But if I walk over to Art and start talking about UFC, dude lights up, right? And that you love to see that out of people. And, you know, Art, why did you fall in love with UFC so much as opposed to everything else?
Well, I really fell in love with sports when I was 10 years old and I saw boobs for the first time because of the Red Wings. So that's literally why I fell in love with sports. We were cruising down Gratiot, and my grandma was driving me around because the Wings had just won the cup, and there was just women everywhere topless, and it was amazing. So I fell in love with sports. As far as just... Like, I thank Darren McCarty for winning the cup because it got me to see boobs for the first time. It was with my grandma, which was kind of weird, but, you know.
She got nice boobies.
Yeah. As far as sports go, I can tell you the first time that I fell in love with the UFC, I smoked weed with my dad for the first time when we watched The Ultimate Fighter. And it was just like, and even before that, like, I was a big Vanderlei Silva fan and everything. But again, to me, it's the storylines. Like, and it's the reason why I watch sports. Like, the UFC and MMA in general, and even like right now I'm trying not to watch Greco-Roman wrestling while I'm doing the show with you guys because we have the TV over in the corner. But it's just two people.
Must be nice.
It's just two people that are like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. No, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, and you find out what happens. So that's why I love MMA.
Yeah, it's the ultimate test, and honestly, that's why football is my favorite game of all sports, because to me, it's the ultimate chess match. Can you make 11 guys move in unison to accomplish one goal together? Because, you know, if the right tackle's off, it blows up the whole play. If the left tackle misses his block, blows up the whole play. Receiver runs the wrong route, blows up the whole play. Like, there is so much that goes into football that's why I absolutely love football as my favorite sport of all time.
Yeah, the camaraderie is definitely a factor in that. Like, you have to be on the same page.
Yeah, but what's your favorite sport?
Man, it was football. I honestly have to admit, I think MMA is kind of
taking it over.
Yeah, man. There's something with like the referees and commercialization of it. Like, they've changed the rules just to like abide fantasy football owners and stuff like that. The game's just changed from like what it was. The tackling isn't the same. The fact, like the thing with was it the Saints and the Rams, the no call on the pass interference?
Yeah, on the
fucking disgusts me. Is literally
that's
right
the human
in front
elephant.
of this guy.
Elephant. That's the human element, though. That's the human elephant.
Combination. Matt Patricia's the human elephant.
He is the human elephant. What's up, Fishy?
We have breaking news. Carson Wentz is expected to have foot surgery. He's going to miss 5 to 12 weeks.
5 to 12 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Jacob Eason.
That sucks for fantasy owners of him. But no, because
not if you have Jacob Eason.
Or he's not expected. He is going to have foot surgery. So he'll be out 5 to 12 weeks.
The mano of MMA, where there's no like referee to throw a flag to like benefit the other team.
Right.
It's just like, yo, you're in here. It's a fucking dogfight, and we're gonna find out who's best. We're not gonna hug each other and both share gold.
I do love that.
Yeah,
I do love that. Well, Kennedy, thank you for bringing up what we do love about sports. And Fish, hopefully you now understand that I do have a soul, and I do care about these athletes, but I want to see them compete till the very end to find out who's best, because my initial comment was I want to see human greatness.
I want to see human greatness, and I want to see them compete to the best too. But as you saw from their reaction, they obviously wanted to share gold. If they're okay with it, that's their opinion. If they want to split gold, then they should have their chance to split gold.
Yeah, I still love
You
the
guys
option
should,
of
because
splitting
you guys
silver.
can't. Can you? Any of you guys high jump 2.39 meters, which I believe is
No,
like
but
7
am I
feet?
in the damn Olympics?
So tell that to them. They obviously had a choice where they wanted to split gold. They chose to split gold.
But I honestly think it should have been posed to them as, hey, guys, we can't give out 2 first place. We can give out 2 second place if that's the route you guys want to go without having a jump off.
Because they could have been thinking that this would happen. That people would be
They're
pissed
like,
because
wait,
we're splitting
we both
the gold.
get gold? Woohoo! Cash out, baby! Let's go!
It's conceding, not competing in that scenario.
Ooh.
Bars.
Easy. Coming with the heat
And they did
right
jump.
now.
They had like 20 jumps to get to that point.
That's okay. It's still conceding, right? Like they conceded, hey, let's just stop. That's
Well,
conceding.
Speaking of conceding, Evander Kane, he needs to concede this whole relationship. I think it's his ex anyways, but he needs to make it his XXXXX. I don't know how you make someone more of an ex,
Hell yeah,
but
porn.
that needs to happen. And we're going to discuss that topic coming up next on Woodward Sports.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom Team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back. It is the Woodward Sports Network live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Thank you guys for being a part of the conversation. Make sure you download that app, and don't forget our new show starts in 10 days. It's called The Bottom Line with Ryan Ermani, Braylon Edwards, and of course Maz is going to be a part of the show every day 2 to 4 right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Kennedy, Evander Kane, tell us a little bit about this story.
Okay, so he's been a problematic person in the NHL for a minute now. In my opinion, he just needs to be done. But what's happening now is that his wife, current wife, but soon to be ex-wife, so they're like in the middle of a split, came out on Instagram and posted, "How does the NHL let a compulsive gambler addict still play when he's obviously throwing games with bookies to win money? Maybe someone needs to address this." She goes on again, like 2 hours later, and says, "At NHL, can someone ask Gary Bettman how they can let a player gamble on his own games, bet and win with bookies on his own games?" So now he's being investigated by the NHL to see if he's ever bet on his own games, or I think any NHL games in general. I think they can't do that. So
there's his response.
There's his statement right there.
Super long.
Unfortunately, I would like to address the complete false accusations that my estranged wife, I love how I use the word estranged, and soon-to-be ex-wife has made against me. Even against the advice of my legal team, I feel strongly that the public and the fans hear this directly from me. I have never gambled/bet on hockey, never gambled/bet on a Sharks game, never gambled/bet on any of my games, and never thrown a hockey game. The facts are I personally had my best season of my career last year, and it was the most consistent I'd been throughout any season. I'm proud of that. I love the game of hockey and would never do any of what was alleged. I look forward to competing fully with the league's cooperating fully with the league's investigation, having my name cleared, and looking forward to this upcoming season.
You have to read part 2 because
Can you read part 2? It's a little far.
With recent allegations that my ex-wife chose to make public, I want to clearly respond as follows. Get ready for Maury drama because this is 100% Maury drama. I love my daughter. I will and always have taken care of my daughter in every way possible. I always made sure her mother had everything she's needed and more. I've tried to de-escalate our divorce issues and be as civil and calm as anyone in this position could. I've tried to set up FaceTime calls and visit with her. I've made some FaceTime calls, but not every day. as I would like to because of being restricted by her mom. She has refused me to see her and has unfortunately tried to use my daughter as leverage. I will continue to always take care of my family. That goes without question. I will encourage people to realize that someone who goes to his length to try to jeopardize someone's career with lies is mentally unwell. I hope this is the last time I will be publicly addressed with any further misrepresentations of me as a father.
Wow, calling her mentally ill.
But here's the thing, if you look at 1 and then you look at 2, like, you can tell that literally this is just a divorced couple situation. And I don't know Kane. I'm sure he's a great guy. But at the same time, like, I'm just saying, I don't know shit about him unless he fights in a cage.
What do you mean he's not a good guy?
He, like I said, he's been problematic in the league for a very long time. So a couple years back, there was a sexual assault. He was accused of sexual assault, and then a few years after that, sexual harassment, and now this. I mean, he's been very problematic for a very long time. I'm very over him. So
for me, I don't have a problem with any athlete betting on themselves. I think that is something that every athlete should be able to do, and I think if I was a coach of a team, I would want my guy having his house on the line, knowing that if he didn't win this game, that things were going to go very wrong very quickly for him. It reminds me of Pete Rose. You know, Pete Rose is banned from Major League Baseball for betting on his team to win. It makes no sense to me. Like, these guys are competitive, and if they're betting on themselves to win, I'm all for it. If they're betting on themselves to lose, that is where the line needs to be drawn.
Right.
But at the same time, it seems like if this guy did this and he was betting on himself to win, I got no problem with it.
Is it true, Kennedy, and I mean, you know a lot more about hockey than I do, that Evander Kane is the biggest NFL douchebag since Sean Avery?
Say that again?
It's the biggest douchebag since Sean Avery in the NHL.
It's possible.
Oof. Yeah.
It's
must be the last name, because wasn't Patrick Kane a douche too?
Patrick Kane is a douche, and he also had a sexual assault.
Sexual assault? Didn't he like choke out an Uber driver at one point?
He had like a lot, I think, of drinking issues.
Citizen Kane, more like criminal Kane.
But I mean, the NHL in general has been like horrible
Yes,
about this stuff. I mean, have you guys heard about like who the Canadians drafted? That whole thing.
No.
So the Canadians drafted this kid that sent photos of a girl giving him a blowjob to like his entire locker room in like college or whatever league he was playing in. And obviously the girl was upset by this. She didn't know the pictures that were taken weren't consensual. She had no idea until they were spread all throughout this town. So anyway, then this guy releases a statement because it's draft time's coming around, and he goes, he literally said, like, I am not mature enough to be in the NHL right now, like, blah, blah, blah. Released this whole statement saying, like, but never
because
once.
He sent pictures of a girl doming him up?
Yeah, but never once said, like, I'm sorry, like, what I did was wrong. And that's all the girl was asking for. She wasn't coming after his money. She just said, I want an apology.
And she deserved that, yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't do that. And then they draft him anyway, and then they come out with this bullshit statement like, he's really grown. Oh, yeah, in a few fucking weeks, he's really grown up. Like, screw that kid. And the Canadians are idiots for taking him. But anyway.
I mean, listen, I was a kid in high school at one point, and, you know, a girl sent me naked pictures, and, you know, you're an idiot, and you show them to your friends because you think it makes you look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't, but that's just what dumb guys do, and I was one of those dumb guys, and I apologize to those girls, but at the same time, you know, I was 17 years old. I'm not making sound decisions either, but obviously, if someone trusts you with those, don't be an idiot and show them to anybody else.
Well, she didn't trust him with it. She didn't know they were taken, which is...
That's
not
completely
good.
different.
Yeah, that's not good. You can't be doing that.
Yeah. So do you guys think players should be allowed to gamble on themselves?
I don't like it.
Slippery slope?
It makes me, slippery slope. Like, you can say, if it's transparent and you can see, obviously, they're betting on themselves. But if it's a situation where they have bookies and, like, you really don't know, like, what their bets are you know, for them or not, it's a little sketchy.
Kennedy, what do you feel about betting, athletes being able to bet on themselves?
I don't know if they should be able to really bet at all, because even so, like, there's guys that are friends with people on other teams, and if you're playing with your buddy, hey, I put this bet on it for us to win, hey, throw yours, I'll give you half. I don't know. I don't know how they would filter it to make sure there was nothing shady going on.
Yeah, it's impossible,
Yeah.
honestly. Like if you let somebody download the MyBookie, go to mybookie.com and bet, like you can't control where they're betting, or if you get a report from them, that just seems like a lot of legwork on the back
so
end.
they should just bet on sports they don't play.
But do you believe his wife?
I don't know. I really can't tell. His statements I think are pretty strong, but just like with what I know about him, I already don't like him. So when I was like, oh God, another thing with this guy, like just get him out of there. I'm so over it. Like the NHL just needs to do better with these guys, really. But they're going through an entire investigation, so we'll see what happens.
It's an interesting thing, man. Sports gambling and sports players has been an issue since the beginning of time. I'm sure people have been throwing matches and doing that forever. You just got to try to make sure it doesn't happen as much as possible. But there really is no way to monitor it, because even if it isn't him betting, like easy, I could go to you, give you $1,000 and say, hey, put this on me.
Yeah.
Right? Like when we when we had our thing on MyBookie, like I could have easily, I didn't obviously but I could have easily, hey, I'm the underdog, easy. Let's put a bunch of money on me and let's throw this fight together. Like we could have conspired like that. We didn't, but it would have been so easy, right?
Yeah.
So
I think that's part of why they're paid as much as they are, but you got to think too when it comes to like the caliber of competitiveness, I guess, that you have to make it to that level of whatever sport it is. I almost feel like has there been any like pro guys other than like the thing in the MLB like way long ago before they're making like big money? Has there been any pro guys like known to throw games or any conspiracies like that? Because like that's what I'm saying.
You hear rumors. You hear more about the referees than you do the actual play, like Tim Donaghy.
Yeah. I think there's like a level of competitor that has to make like to that like level of play that you're not going to see guys throw games because they're just ultra competitive guys. Like that's why they're playing at that level.
But maybe not even throw games, like shave points. And that's where it's like, all right, the guy's competitive. He's still getting his W, but he's also making sure they don't cover the spread so the points bettors win.
But still, even then, like you got to be so good that you like can do that because the guy going against you is trying his fucking hardest. And if you're like, you let up like the tiniest bit, they could take advantage of that and win. I've also had my own personal experience of having to leave a career and job because of an ex and her starting stuff like that too. So like, we'll see how things play out. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, yeah, the league's going to do an investigation, and we'll find out about it. It just seems like a messy divorce that has gone public, which you always hate to see. You never want to see anybody get divorced.
Sucks,
but for him to call his wife mentally ill, especially right now during these times when mental illness is such like a touchy thing, to just be like, "She's crazy, man. What's she talking about? She's crazy."
They do be crazy sometimes.
Kennedy, you do not look pleased with that statement.
No, girls do be crazy sometimes, but I genuinely don't know about this one, so I won't say anything. I'll let the league deal with it.
Yeah, it's like tough because you don't really know.
This is something that's this is like a situation that's very like easily provable, I think. So it's either true or it's false. There's like where like with the sexual assault stuff, there's kind of like it's harder to prove. Where there's got to be some sort of paper trail somewhere.
And I have his stats pulled up here too. Like it doesn't seem as if he was like taking any breaks off because like in less games played, his numbers are very similar to like his career highs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying so. It's like it doesn't look like he wasn't trying if you look at the numbers.
Right.
Yeah, but who knows if she's talking about before
prior,
he was,
and that's where you can see like some years where it's like some down
that's
years
why
there.
I don't know.
And he did. There was actually too in the TMZ report that you gave us a look at. He did have a quote unquote $500,000 debt to pay at a casino at one point. So that is in there.
This dude had like serious like gambling issues before. That's why I'm kind of like I don't.
And that's what I'm saying. Could be some in the past, like you said though too.
Yeah. So.
Well, we'll find out. The law is going to find out exactly what's going on.
The long dig of the law.
Yeah, the long dig of the law is going to find out. And hopefully their divorce ends amicable, I guess, in the best way possible.
For the sake of the baby, for sure.
I want to talk to you about Lions running backs. And we want to do that next because a statement was made this weekend about comparing them to another great set of running backs. And I want to see if they're going to live up to the hype or if you guys just believe that's exactly what it is, just hype. And we'll talk about that next on the Woodward Sports Network. Welcome back to the Midday Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Joik Bell is out for the week because it's his birthday week and he needed a vacation. Joik lives on vacation, so I don't know. I don't know why he needs a
every
vacation.
other week.
I love Joik, but my man's got a charmed life. He does well.
That's how you know he's making like the right money moves, though. The amount of times this guy goes OT, man, like, is that Bitcoin or something, man? He's got it.
Yeah, no, he's one of those smart players who, did okay in the NFL and didn't piss it all away.
That's the part of respect, too, because he was in the league like 10, 12 years. He was on there like 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for him to have like this everlasting like money from it, like, the statistic is like 80%, 90% go broke. Joik's still balling.
Well, let's talk a little bit about our running backs because the comment came out over the weekend that, hey, yeah, you can compare us to Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. And I'm talking about Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. That's a lofty comparison. Do you guys think that they can hold up to that?
If this offensive line holds up, I don't see why not. Kamara, I have like tons of respect for Alvin Kamara. I think that guy's amazing. What he can do like out of the backfield and catching the ball out of the backfield, like he's a great talent when it comes to NFL running backs. So that one, definitely a little lofty. Mark Ingram arguably had some MVP seasons almost in New Orleans, but it is lofty when you look at who those guys are. But when I look at them and their abilities and what I've seen from them, it's not just me drinking Kool-Aid. Like, these guys are nice. A little bit that I've seen from Jamal Williams and a lot of bit that I've seen from DeAndre Swift, I think these dudes are nice. And if the rest of this team can hold up, if Amon-Ra is doing what we saw in that highlight and the offensive line is what they're hyped up to be, I don't see why not. Maybe not this year, but, next year for sure.
The offensive line is going to be crucial for this.
Oh, absolutely.
If this is going to come to fruition, which I think the talent is there. Like, when you look at DeAndre Swift, I would say he's comparable talent to an Alvin Kamara if he can get his passing game. And, he's got the speed. He's got the intangibles. We saw last year some of the jukes and jump cuts that he made were amazing. Is Jamal Williams the bruiser like Ingram? I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Are they both kind of Kamaras?
Nah, yeah, both kind of Kamaras. Yeah, on the money right there.
Yeah. So it's all in how we're going to use these guys and dictate them. Kennedy, what do you think? Do you think these guys can live up to that hype of the Saints' great backfield that they had a couple years ago?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen enough of Swift to even say, so I won't say.
Okay.
Yet. I will wait.
Way to take a stand, Kennedy.
I truly don't know. I don't know. I like Jamal Williams a lot, but I haven't seen them together, and I really haven't seen DeAndre Swift at all. So,
well, Swift, like I said, some of those cuts last year, and you could see, like, hey, this guy's got that extra gear, that extra ability to make a man miss when it's one-on-one. And, that's what a lot of these OCs like to draw up plays for, is let me get my running back one-on-one with somebody in space, and they got to win that battle. If they win that battle, we got everybody else blocked, and we're off and running. So it's nice that we finally have somebody that we can put in space and break those tackles. Because last year, AP was great, but he's a downhill runner.
Yeah.
And if we started another game with AP off right tackle, I was going to shoot myself in the face. Like that, I could have predicted every first play call for the Lions last year. AP to the right, 1 yard, 2 yard, negative yard, 0 yards. That's it. That's all we did. Next thing you know, it's 2-9. Stafford's behind the chains, and boom, we're punting, giving away the first possession. But I really like these two young running backs, man.
I do too. I want to see like the chemistry and like because I think they both have that like spark, that it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, is it all going to come together?
The thing that makes me hesitant in the comparison is like I think Alvin Kamara truly is like great catching the ball out of the backfield. Like this guy is almost like receiver level, you know what I'm saying? And then he has obviously the elusiveness and jump cuts and everything else, to add on top of it. It's like that. I think that's a tall task to compare to, but like you said, we've seen this guy be shifty. It's whether or not he could be sure-handed enough to be what Alvin Kamara is.
Yeah, let's not have a repeat of game 1 last year.
And that's why I think I was like, I don't want to compare him to Kamara because we never really seen that out of Kamara,
How different do you think the Lions season would have been last year if Swift catches that ball in the first game? We can look back now. Hindsight's 2020.
I don't want to. I can't say very honestly because it's just one game.
Right.
Because I was still like, I wasn't satisfied, and obviously I was getting the L, but we were competitive in that game, and it looked like we were winning before I think the second half was when they made the turnaround. Mitch Trubisky and those guys. It was more on the defense and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't really think that they would have did much different other than obviously get that W. And the Bears aren't really like respectable enough to say that either.
Right,
you know?
but it totally changes the trajectory of the season. Like, momentum's on your side. People are starting to believe in Patricia.
Yeah.
You know, we're 1-0 going in instead of SOL, the same old Lions mantra that you heard.
Yeah, well, if we would have like started off hot and then fizzled out, would have like no one would have been. That would have been like, this is what the Lions do. Like, it really, I don't think would have done anything.
Because I still had a little bit of confidence in them after that game just because of what it was. Like, if he caught that, we would have won the game. You know what I'm saying?
Bad.
So it's like, I think they still had like confidence in themselves, but then the whole rest of the season still happened.
I went back and watched the first video we ever did here at Woodward Sports, and it was me in my car screaming after that game. And it got like 500 shares. It went crazy. It's part of the reason why we launched this whole thing. Is like, oh man, people really want some new sports opinions around here.
Yeah.
But dude, I remember just like I was sitting on my couch, and then I went in my car and I recorded that because I didn't want to scare my cats or my wife. You know, like I wanted to just be away so I could speak freely. And I went back and watched the video, and I forgot like how bad Mitch Trubisky looked in that first half, to where they were thinking about pulling him for Foles in the first half. Then dude comes back in the second half and just absolutely lights us up.
Embarrassing, bro. That's what I hated about the Patricia era. Was like, we have these garbage ass quarterbacks. We had a guy, and no disrespect to him, I don't mean to call them garbage, but guys who weren't the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a guy from the XFL come in and substitute for the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Who just
PJ Walker, baby.
Yeah, he joined that team that year off a COVID offseason and fuck us up, man.
Yeah. Now, that was a sight to behold. PJ Walker beating the hell out of us.
Yeah, him, Mitch Trubisky, like Sam Darnold we spoke on the other day too. Like, it's just
Kyler Murray, his first game.
Fucking embarrassing. Like, I get Kyler Murray, sure. Like, I like him. I think he could be good. But like Mitch Trubisky, man, come on, bro.
Yeah, the thing is, going into this year, we're not starting out with a rookie quarterback first game, but there is a chance that Trey Lance comes in during that game. I'm assuming Garoppolo is going to start the season for the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
So that means we're going to play Garoppolo.
Yeah.
But the history that we've had with Sam Darnold, with Kyler Murray, and rookie quarterbacks in that first game, it scares the hell out of me that Trey Lance may be able to get his first W against the Lions opening day.
I think it's highly possible. I think what's his last name? Brandon. It's fucking his dad's a legend too in coaching. I can't think of it. Head coach of the 49ers.
Oh, Shanahan.
Yeah, Brendan Shanahan. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a great head coach. You look back what he did even with Atlanta as an offensive coordinator. So I'm expecting that to be a tough win just because like the offensive firepower they have and Kittle, maybe even Lance coming off the bench. No matter what running backs have been there, they've been successful. So like I think that's a L either way, Lance or Garoppolo, unfortunately.
I hope not, man. Like, listen, I don't want to take the loss the first game, but if we lose to a rookie quarterback again for like the third time in 4 years, it's becoming problematic.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be something we can do to like switch up the scheme, show these rookies something they've never seen before. You know, drop 9, do something, send pressure, put rookies under pressure so they got to react fast and make quick decisions. You know, that's rookies' weaknesses. They don't know the offense, they don't know the checkdowns, they don't know how to go through the progressions. Let's not give them time to.
Do you have that first one as a win or a loss?
I forget what I had on my win-loss
against
total
the 49ers.
It's gotta be an L.
I think I had an L.
All we got to do is show them D's nuts, and we get the victory. What the hell are you talking about? You got to show them the different schemes and the different things. Just show them the nuts. Tell them we got Jamal Williams on the team. We're going to be dancing all over them afterwards, and they're a bunch of pussies.
I think it's a penalty if you do that. If you just pull out your nuts.
Not if you're Jamal Williams.
Not if you're Jamal Williams can do whatever he wants.
Hey, speaking of NFL, they have ties in the NFL.
Huh?
What'd you say?
They have ties in the NFL.
Not in the Super Bowl, Fish.
But they have ties in the NFL.
Not in the Super Bowl, Fish.
They have ties in the NFL.
Yeah, well, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about competing at the highest level.
Okay.
And when you're doing that for championships and medals and trophies, there are no ties.
Okay.
Comment?
Well, they were clearly the best, so
and they at least tried to avoid a tie at first, too.
Yeah,
like,
and the high jumpers tried as well. What the hell do you think they were jumping for?
The 2.39 was like a original jump they both had 3 attempts to make.
Yeah, and every single competitor missed 2.39, but they all made every single jump.
Well, I'm just glad
That's
they didn't
like
give
20
out
jumps.
7 bronze medals, and golf got it figured out to where they just play another hole and figure it out.
Oh, but golf's known to do that.
No.
You asked me who was going to be my standout player of the year.
Yeah.
I answered. I didn't get to hear yours.
Ooh, my breakout player this year?
Yeah.
I mean, Hawkinson's the easy answer because he's going to put up numbers. I think we all know that with the weak receiving core.
Yeah.
But to me, he's already taken that step forward. So, like, last year was his breakout year. He broke out. Like, he's official. He's there. He's already on that tier, right? Ooh. I would love to see Swift break out. I really would. We haven't had the running back, like, champion since Barry. Obviously, you know, Reggie Bush, the last to run for 1,000 yards. You loved Reggie Bush and Joik together, but I would love to see Swift pay off. Because going into last year's draft, I thought Swift was the best running back.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were able to get him where we got him, Kennedy, you just rolled your eyes. Who'd you think
No,
was...
I didn't. I'm stretching.
I was like, who do you think was a better running back?
No. You just always think I'm being a dick to you.
Well, yes. Like, CEH was first off the board. He was drafted by the Chiefs in the first round last year. CEH, like, at first was like 6th on that list. But then after he got drafted by the Chiefs, everybody's like, oh, this guy's going to be the next, you know, the best ever.
That's what it was. Yeah, he got drafted by the Chiefs. Because he played at LSU. His box was never stacked. He had Justin Jefferson as a receiver. He had freaking he had
a pretty decent team. Or Joe Burrow around him.
Like you're gonna do well as a running back if that's your team.
Well, and if you watched him in college, he wasn't like beating anybody to end zones. He wasn't like, you know, making people miss on angles of pursuit or anything like that.
I didn't get the hype at all when they were talking that stuff about him.
Yeah,
I didn't get
he
it
never
at all.
really had the it, and then all of a sudden, Pat Mahomes wants him, and the Chiefs draft him, and he's the top fantasy back ever. Everybody wants him, and you saw what he did last year. He started out, had a nice couple games, but you know, it's a running back by committee there in Kansas City.
That's why I'm so happy to have Woodward Sports here. I feel like we're like a reasonable voice. Yeah, we may be delusional when it comes to our Lions a little bit. Like that's just that's what happens in preseason times. But like national media, like will never talk about DeAndre Swift. In fact, PFF didn't even have him ranked as a top 32 back.
That's
so
stupid.
Fuck you, PFF. But also, here you go, back to the camera. But,
there you go.
But I think we speak like reasonableness like about our teams, and we know about the guys that like people may not know about Tracy Walker nationally. You know what I'm saying? But we can speak. Hey, that kid had promise before. You know what I'm saying?
Well, fuck. Look at before this, nobody really knew or cared about Matthew Stafford. Now he's Joe Montana.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of like Woodward Sports. Like we're like the voice that's not gonna. Yeah, we may speak our realistic expectations and opinions on these teams, and you may not like them as fans. We don't like them as fans. Clearly, like you know what I'm saying, we want our teams to do well, but at least we're not just like lazily shitting on our fucking teams like national media, like Colin Cowherd and those guys do. They're even speaking realistic. They're just like, oh yeah, fuck them. It's just an easy, lazy take.
Yeah, that's it. Those are just lazy takes. Period.
Yeah.
I mean that, and honestly, we could do that all day, like fake arguments and do clickbait stuff all day. But you can only keep that up for so long.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, people want to hear your real opinion, and if you're over here this week and over here next week, eventually they're gonna know you're full of shit.
Well, it's like if you're like fucking like SportsCenter, Cowboys got a chance this year, like with no like evidence or proof behind it other than them being the Cowboys. Like fuck that, I hate that. It's so annoying, man.
Jerry Jones is paying us.
Yeah, like, that was a CEH hype to me. It was like what? Like what do you like? Is it just because he's part of the Chiefs? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it seemed that way. And once the season started, I may eat my words, but.
I love Mike's comment here. WSN could be delusional. Talk to Armani about Grosse Pointe South baseball. And that's another thing. Like, we're local, too. Nobody else is going to cover things here in Michigan like we do because our high school football that we got coming up is going to be amazing. We're going to do a live broadcast every Friday night from a different high school. I can't wait for that. I get to do color commentary. It's going to be an amazing presentation for these high school kids to have. Save the video and have it for life because how much of your high school footage did you ever get to see?
No, dude, none. Unless
I got, like one soccer game.
Yeah,
right.
Unless my high school coach is watching film and he's like, "Easy. Next time you touch a defender like that, you better put a rubber on." And making fun of me on the line and stuff like that. This is really the only time. Who's the guy who does the Tuesday night shows? Strayhorn, Cade Strayhorn.
Yep.
I would have never known about that kid if it weren't for this show.
Right.
Morning Woodward, I should say. I'm pumped to watch that kid.
Yeah, he's good.
He's like 6'6". He's in 8th grade. Like
he's beast.
Dog, I can't
That's
wait.
his dad that does the Tuesday show.
Yeah,
both of them are beasts of humans of beings. So let's do this. Let's talk about a little bit more of free agency, NBA free agency.
Yeah,
and we can do that coming up next. Right after this, though, Fish got to tell you about Pam.
I sure do. Public Adjusters of Michigan are giving you a chance to win a twosome in the 3rd annual Darren McCarty Charity Golf Outing this Friday, August 6th, 2021 at the links of Novi. The event is totally sold out, so the only way you can get in is to win. To enter for a chance to win, go to woodwardsports.com. Look for the PAM logo to register. PAM represents the insured for property insurance claims, homeowners and commercial property, fire, wind, and smoke. They get you money, and they do all the work. Why wouldn't you want them to do it? Call PamFirst.com and go to woodwardsports.com and register for a chance to win a twosome in the Darren McCarty charity golf outing this Friday at the Links of Novi. Stick, you're a kind of a golfer. Have you been to the Links of Novi?
I have.
Is it
Nice
a good
course.
Good
Very
course?
nice. Yeah.
Nice area.
Easy, have you been golfing?
No, I golfed.
I didn't think so.
No.
Kennedy Broadwell, golfer?
I do play, but I have not been there.
All right, well, Links of Novi seems fun, so go have some fun. Woodward Sports. Art,
He already knew.
Art, okay, Art,
Wow,
have
what
you
a
been
dick.
golfing? Art, have you been golfing?
I have not. I've never been there. No.
Okay, Woodward Sports.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. Ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
I'm looking at some of these free agents stick, and I actually like some of these names. They seem a little bit affordable.
There are some decent free agents. NBA free agency starts in about 5 hours, and we're going to see where all these teams line up. I feel like the NBA, because of COVID, like we've gotten to experience a lot of it in a short amount of time. You know, they did the bubble, then they did the draft, then they played the season, then they won the championship, then we're back in the draft, and now we're already in free agency again. Like, this is just moved very fast for the NBA.
I must love basketball because I feel like a lot of fans would be exhausted from that, but I'm ready for free agency. Like, I'm pumped.
Oh, well, now that we got
Cade's
Cade,
part of it,
I mean,
yeah.
Cade has literally taken us off life support.
You're not lying, bro. I literally, like I said, it's felt despair is the word I use because I feel like we were never gonna have winning basketball here again.
It's here, man. It's here. So on that free agency list, anybody that sticks out to you besides like the big names that we mentioned, obviously Chris Paul, Kawhi, those types of guys?
So personally, like when I look at Cade Cunningham and his strengths, it's not really like scoring or highlight dunks like that. It's like I said before, he's going to get guys open in their spots. I'm seeing a lot of shooters here. They're in the twilight of their career that could hold some value here in Detroit. You know, say have Cade suck in the defense where they're all rushing to the paint or somewhere else, and have Cade flip off the ball to guys like J.J. Redick, who's on this list. Oops, this thing just highlighted a bunch of stuff. But I saw J.J. Redick on the list.
Yep, Redick's on there.
Yeah, Kelly Oubre, affordable. Danny Green, affordable. Like they're guys who can provide that shooting touch and be affordable for us with that $17 million of cap space that we have to play with. If we get Kelly Oubre, I actually really would like that. I'm sure Mikey TikTok likes that too. He calls it the cutest lineup in the NBA, is what he was calling it on Friday. But I see a lot of these guys, man, again, affordable, and I think they fit well. I think we need some shooters. Give us some shooters for Cade to, get open.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Troy Weaver wants to build this team. What type of team are we going to be? Obviously, you've seen the NBA shift to, putting guys in the corners, making sure you have your three-point shooters to spread the floor.
Yeah.
Or are we going to be, the Bucks didn't really do that too much. Yes, they had PJ, and yes, they had a Coddington who was supposed to be their shooter, but ended up shooting bricks the whole damn tournament. I'm interested to see, because this free agent signing is going to tell me more about what direction they want to go.
Yeah.
Because if they go after a big man or a defensive specialist, it's going to be like, all right, we're really going to hunker down on defense. If they're going shooters, like you're suggesting, it's going to be, okay, we're going to try to spread the floor and have a good offense here.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested. This free agency is going to tell a lot about where they want to take this team. Not where it's at, where it's going.
Well, like their intentions like this year too. Like, are we truly trying to compete this year? Or is this another year we're trying to like put these young guys on the floor to get experience? And then another direction I think they should go, and I'd like to see them go, is we obviously traded Mason Plumlee. I know that we drafted Garza. I don't think he's a defensive specialist. So we have to deal with Giannis in the Eastern Conference. I'm seeing guys like Nerlens Noel on here.
Yep, that's one I like.
Which they expressed some interest in. JaVale McGee, Michigan native, an NBA champion. Dwight Howard. There's rumors he might go back to L.A. to join LeBron.
I don't want
and Russ.
Dwight Howard here.
Yeah.
Get the hell out. That's Blake Griffin 2.0.
He's better than Blake Griffin.
No,
This guy,
same dude.
Defensive Player of the Year. He'd been to the finals. Blake Griffin never been that. Been busted ass knees. Drummond's there too, but I don't think I want to see return of Drummond. To be honest with you, he showed me what he could do. But look, if we go out there and we get like a guy like Nerlens Noel, and maybe not even shooters, if we get Nerlens Noel, then I know our plan is to compete this year.
Yeah.
And I think we can do that if Cade comes as advertised. That's what I'm expecting, man.
It's crazy. They drafted 4 starters in the past 2 first rounds. And that's not even talking about what Livers and Garza could potentially be for this team. And shout out to Garza's dad. Is his name Fred?
I think it might be Frank. I think
Frank. He has been showing us nothing but love on Twitter.
Shouts
nothing
out to you,
but
Mr.
love
Garza.
on Twitter. So shout out to the entire Garza family. He even says "What up, though" on his tweets and stuff like that.
That is dope. I didn't know that part.
Absolutely love it. Make sure you're following us at Woodward Sports.
Oh, sorry. I want to say one more thing. Make sure you guys go to Nate Burleson's Twitter and retweet. He's gonna come on Baligian and Bell. I asked. Oh my God, I did it again. But I asked him. I told him Joyke's going out of town. We may need some help. You want to come through and shine a little bit? And he retweeted us. He said I'm in. So if you guys retweet that and make sure that happens this week, man, I would appreciate that.
Yeah,
too.
get it done easy, so I don't have to do double duty again tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be sick, man.
Real quick, I need to ask this. Fish, what are you doing?
Yeah, you do be doing that. Whatever that was.
What are you doing?
He was fielding a punt earlier, right?
I just do crazy stuff. There's probably something wrong with me that I don't know about. But I wouldn't know. I just do weird things, and it just happens.
Love you, Fish.
I have something to keep me occupied, but it, I guess, doesn't work. So...
Well, coming up the hook from 3 to 5, they will keep you occupied the rest of your day, and Fish will be doing his fish things in the sound booth. You guys have a great Monday. Hopefully the sun stays shining. Cade Cunningham is in town, and the Pistons sign a big free agent coming up at 6 o'clock. Have a great one.